Well, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, and good morning, everybody. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to another episode of The Morning Glow. Welcome to another episode of The Morning Glow. Got a great broadcast lineup for you today. We're going to ask a couple of questions. We're going to ask a question today, and we're going to get to the bottom of something. We're going to try to get to the bottom of something today. That's what, Leonard, we're going to try to get to the bottom of something. Good morning, Leonard. How you doing this morning?
Good morning, Raheem. Morning, Glow fam.
Man, look here. We're going to ask a question today. We're going to try to get to the bottom of something. Don't know what that something is, but we're going to try to get to the bottom of something, Leonard. That's what we're going to do today. Don't know what that something is, but we're going to do the bestest that we can. But Captain Leonard, I need to come to you, man. This is my brother from another mother, but we got the same father. Leonard, what's going on in the political arena, man? Anything transpired yesterday?
Well, not a whole lot new, with the exception, of course. It's just, we need to definitely be in prayer for our communities to make sure that they understand what they need to do. Because sometimes it just so happens that I was looking at some news yesterday, and the violence and things like that is presenting a serious issue as it relates to various types of legislation and things of that nature. And we have to make sure that we're very much aware of our surroundings and what is going on, because too many people are becoming victims. I remember, I think we talked about it before. You had brought it up before. If you're watching this court case for this young man who killed his family,
yes,
and he is defending himself. I've never seen anything worse than this.
No,
I mean, in the legal, this is absolute craziness going on. So we have to make sure that we are very clear, because the political game is getting very dangerous. We have lots of people running for office, and we need to take these things more seriously, because they are truly trying to attack what it is we call a democracy as it relates to voter disenfranchisement. And I was going to, I think we talked about it offline before, about the Juneteenth becoming a holiday.
Yes, exactly.
That's one day. Just one day. And it had nothing to do with all the things that we fight for. Great. Celebrate that day. But what are you going to do the next day?
Yeah.
And the next day? So we have to make sure we're supporting those individuals that are proposing legislation as it relates to not just voting rights, but also Biden's initiative to rebuild America and to rebuild the households of America. This is a huge plan that we need to make sure that we are supporting. And the way we support that is by sending those people to public office who are like-minded and who are actually for the people. We know this race is going to be very heated as usual here in Atlanta for certain positions like the mayor's position and things of that nature. Don't get caught up in the rhetoric. Challenge those individuals running for office in your areas. Make sure you're asking them the right questions, and that if you're not with someone, you need to join an organization to follow up and hold them accountable.
Yes, sir.
Like a lot of people see my name up there, the national spokesperson for New Order, and that is actually the type of work that we do, is that we engage politicians and those people who say they represent us. We engage law enforcement and different boards and things like that are set up to make sure that some type of equity
yes,
is being used to make these decisions when it comes to people's lives and their livelihoods.
And see, and let me say this, because I don't want to get past this moment without saying this. Y'all been doing this thing for a long time. It ain't like y'all the new kids on the block. Y'all been fighting. Y'all leader, man, Mr. Gerald Rose, man, love that brother. He's been doing a lot of great things for a lot, and he come from and not only him, he come from a father that did it before him, and so there's a history.
Right.
There's a history there. There's a history there. This is not no fly by night situation where they're gonna be there one day and then the next day you look and they're not there. No, there's a history there, and they've been fighting and fighting and fighting, and have would I guarantee you would not stop fighting. So this is the kind of organization that you want to, if you want to hook your wagon onto something, hook it to something that's going to be going somewhere. This organization, I can vouch for them. They're going somewhere. They're doing some things, and they're fighting the cause. And so if you have any questions or any concerns, get in contact with Leonard. Get in contact with Leonard and get in contact with Gerald or anybody else. Leonard could tell you exactly how to go about that. I'm not really clear on that part of it. Leonard could definitely speak on it, but get involved with this organization. Get involved with this organization and support them. And support them. They fight for you.
Right.
They fighting for you. Why wouldn't you?
And it's very important, very important to us that people understand. There's never enough people doing this.
Exactly.
So in your local area, if you don't have an organization, but there is a need, you feel that need.
Yes, sir.
That's what's important. You have to feel that need in your area. Get people, like-minded people together to let folks know, let mayors know, let police chiefs know, and things like or sheriffs know. We're concerned about our communities.
Exactly.
We're just as much for law and order and safety as everyone else. But we can't just be the victims.
Yeah, exactly. Now, speaking of that, Leonard, you said there's a lot of violence and stuff going on. Do you think people, honestly speaking, do you think people still care like they used to, man? Because there was a time, man, they go to the street and stop that foolishness. Now it's running rapid, man. It's almost like a snowball rolling downhill, almost out of control. Nobody's trying to stop it from running through that village. So, do you think people really care these days, as a whole?
Well, I'm not sure about the caring part, but I do know that people have a lot of problems dealing with anger management and handling various issues. I think we kind of got into it a little bit yesterday with how you desire to live your life. That's what I call it. And the choices that you make. Come on now. We got to start calling a spade a spade. Some of y'all women out here living with killers.
Yes, sir.
Natural born killers. And if you keep making excuses, you're going to keep getting the same results. They will kill your children, anything. So please be careful when you're making them choices, thinking about who you're going to lay down and make some babies with. I don't think I've ever seen something so ridiculous as that court case. Where a man is defending himself for killing two members of his family, trying to kill his son, and then burning down the house. And then this man defends himself and attacks his own son on the stand. In front of the entire world.
Wow.
We got some problems, man.
Yeah. There's some
serious issues.
There's some real, and you said it earlier, but I'm gonna reiterate it, man. There's some real serious mental situations going on there.
And one of those things, because working with the Atlantans for alternatives to the death penalty, one of these things that we worked with was this issue of mental illness, especially as it relates to executions here in Georgia. Think about it. A way to escape punishment for some of the things that people do. And we know the other side, they've been doing. They go in a room and kill 10 black people and then come out and say, oh, there's something wrong with me.
Yeah.
And I think the reason why this farce is being allowed to happen is for the simple fact that if you say the man cannot defend himself because of mental illness or not having clarity, then he could sit there very well and use that same thing to defend killing his family. So they are not allowing him to be mentally ill at this point because they know he needs to be prosecuted and convicted for what he does, what he did. And, you know, I think I tried to stay away from you asking me about it when it first occurred, when it first got on the news. But this was about 3 years ago. And I think at the time the son may have been around 8 years old. And luckily his father tried to kill him, but the boy made it. And so the boy was actually on trial, on the stand, called to the stand by his father, who murdered his mother and his sister. And his father is insisting that he's lying. The man fully admits killing his wife. That's not even an issue. But it is a clown court in there.
Yes, sir.
The way they're allowing him to defend himself. But luckily, all the statements and everything were finalized yesterday. I'm not sure of the verdict as of yet, but we shall see today.
I mean, I've seen stranger things happen, but what other verdict could could there be? What other verdict could there be in a situation like this? What other verdict could it be? But like I say, I've seen stranger things happen, man. I can't.
Yes. Stranger things have happened.
You can't sit here and say, "Oh, well, it's cut and dry." No, it's not. No, it's not. No, it's not. It is not, and that's the sad part about it, man. Because this young man, the son, now he have to live his whole life knowing what happened, and then have to deal with in the courtroom. Have to deal with the visual of his dad doing it. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Trauma. And that's one thing we do in New Order. We don't just do certain things like, you know, the regular things. Like we assist people with their issues locally as well. But what we also do is make appeals to the community when something happens. If there is a person out here doing wrong to people, committing crimes and things like this, we'll do press conferences to have people turn themselves in.
Yeah.
Because we address things on every issue. It's not either or. We need a united front against what's going on the political side, health and wellness, criminal justice, you name it. It's not a who can throw the biggest party and who needs to be on top and who needs to be first.
Come on.
Everybody needs to be on the attack. Everybody. If you don't do nothing else, go to the polls.
Exactly. Leonard, I'm gonna tell you something, man. This must be a tag team match this morning. This must be a tag team match this morning because I believe he's here. Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from?
Grand Rising.
Brother Pete, how we doing this morning?
Doing
all
good,
right,
sir. How you doing this morning? Man, listen.
How y'all doing this morning?
Hey, doing good, man. Leonard going in again, brother. Leonard going in. I know you've been.
Oh, you must be talking about the devil executing devil man. What you talking about?
He's talking about this man that killed his family and tried to kill his son, but the son made it, and he actually tried to attack his son in the courtroom.
Good Lord.
You know, you haven't heard about that?
No, I didn't hear about that.
Question. It'll be the weirdest thing that I believe our generation has really seen it like this on television, where a black man is defending himself in a double murder trial of his daughter, his wife at the time, I believe they were married, and an attempt to murder the son, but the son survived. Survived the stabbing and this man trying to burn down the house with him in.
That's a sickness there, brother. That's a sickness there, brother.
It's coming out of a Harlem movie.
Yeah.
Does he have diagnosed mental health issues?
But see, this is the issue. You cannot take the chance to diagnose this man with mental health issues because he will be able to avoid conviction or based on those grounds. So he has a right to defend himself. if he is mentally competent to do so. And I believe that was part of this whole charade. It's for him to try to get people to just say he's crazy, so he's not sentenced, so he's not executed.
But he don't have any prior documentation saying he had any mental issues before this incident had taken place.
Man, I'm gonna say something. So out of the ordinary for most people. Trust me, this Negro playing the race, not just the race card at all, but that mental illness card.
Yeah.
To escape conviction.
To escape his proper recompense for his actions.
I've never seen something like this being allowed in court at this level. So black people, y'all know we got a level of crazy. We got a level of crazy that don't meet the criteria.
Come on.
Because I'm not letting y'all slide. Now I've met mentally ill people. I've worked with mentally ill people. And let me tell you that it looks like he would do something like this to try to evade imminent punishment. This is why
his daughter and tried to kill his son.
Yes.
Killed his wife and his daughter. Yeah, his wife and his daughter.
As a matter of fact, he still had burns on his hands from burning the house down. Y'all better pray for one another.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Most certainly. No, I didn't hear about that. I'm not shocked though, brother. You know, spiritually speaking, we know it's a dark time, and because the Bible says, because sentence against the evil work is not executed expediently, the heart of man is fully set to do evil. I think I quoted that properly. So on the spiritual side, the Bible says God's spirit is not always going to dwell with man. Animals will defend their children, and human beings will leave their children in the garbage can.
Wow. And somewhere it says something about perilous times, isn't it? Perilous times will come.
That's right.
Yeah.
Perilous times will come, and we if you read that 2 Timothy, we done covered all of that.
Yes, sir.
We talk about the spiritual side.
Yeah.
But you know what's going on with you that you would result to such an extreme measure and not be prepared for the consequences. You know, it's just a little disturbing sometimes when you see adults displaying levels of immaturity and outright ignorance, just lacking of knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. And they full-fledged adults. You know, you say the wrong thing as an adult. You're so flip mouth. You say stuff out of rage and anger. Didn't your mama tell you when you was young that you shouldn't say everything? If it ain't nothing good, don't say.
Yeah.
I mean, who raised you? That way, what was you raised up at the zoo? I mean, it's amazing. You know, when you see these things. Now, every action brings a what?
Opposite of equal reaction. Yes, sir.
A reaction.
Yeah.
I mean, how did this dude grow up? I mean, he just grew up on his own. We often mistake age for maturity. We do that. Sometimes age just truly show up all by itself. So we need to really get clear about that. But, sir, you killed your wife, your daughter, attempted to kill your son, burned your house down, burned yourself in the process of burning your house down. And then to add insult to injury, wanted to attack your fortunate surviving son in the courtroom.
How many layers is that, man?
So even if you do have a mental problem, you done already sustained on the record that you endanger yourself, society, and anything and everything else that's living. So we must contain you in a room by yourself. That's already clear. But now, do we need to just go and usher you on up out of here?
Right.
Because they just gonna warehouse you for the rest of your life. 3 hots in the car. I mean, are we wasting food and air in a room on human debris?
And see, some people you got you, and this is the part that gets me right here. You got some people that so super sensitive. They're very super sensitive. Say, well, he didn't know what he was doing. He had one of those moments and he just lost it and he snapped. Okay, well, say that to the ones that he killed. Tell that same story to the ones that he killed. Bring them back and say, we're gonna dust you off and send you back on your way because he had a bad moment. This man is killed.
Right, but see, this is the thing. This is the thing, my brother. You have taken lives.
Yes, exactly.
So you knew exactly what you was doing.
And see, and that's
it's
my
not
point.
like you tripped with a ladder and accidentally cracked them in the head.
Exactly.
I mean, you have taken 2 lives and attempted to take a third, and you accidentally burned the house down.
My point exactly. You can't bring those people back. It's
so
impossible.
You knew what you was doing.
Yeah, it's impossible.
You was clear about what in your fit of rage, in your insane rage, you still knew what you was doing.
Yeah,
I can understand flying off the handle and being in such a rage until you're not conscious of what you're doing. You're just reacting, and afterwards you come to yourself. But guess what? You still was conscious of the fact that you was going into a rage. Man, there's no excuse on personal responsibility. You can't explain it away.
Come on.
You can't explain it away.
Yeah.
Two mentally deficient, challenged individuals. I mean, physically, imperfect and mentally not fully there. Put that male and that female together long enough, and they'll figure out how to have sex, though.
Yes, sir.
Because it's just in them. So, see, that's the problem. I always talk about personal responsibility. They want to see if he's crazy. Stick him in a room with some lifers.
Yeah.
That done had traumatic situations, and they in there for life. You can't see their families at all. And let's leave him there for 30 days. And if he come out intact, then maybe he do have a mental problem. I promise you, show us we alive talking on the phone right now, he wouldn't survive 15 minutes.
Exactly.
Because they wouldn't accept no excuses. They wouldn't accept no. Why did you kill your wife, man? Why did you kill your daughter? How old was the daughter? Do you know how old was the daughter?
Oh, the boy was 8 at the time, and the girl couldn't have been more than. Oh yeah, this happened 3 years ago. And he was actually cross-examining his own son on the stand. And it was so sad for him to ask his son, did I do anything to hurt you? And the son pretty much, they couldn't show the boy's face because he's so young.
Yeah.
And to protect his identity. So you could see his hands, and he threw his hand like, you stabbed me. I've never seen.
Yeah, pretty much warm up that chair, line up the firing squad, go get the gavel together. I mean, look, the guillotine. How we gonna do this?
And it's a shame that we're having so much domestic violence, and that's one of the things that I'm trying to get people to understand what's most important. Y'all living with monsters, man.
That's right.
What do you think is gonna happen? If everybody at the table got a gun, somebody gonna get shot.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So we need to be a lot more careful. We were talking about it yesterday. Women, be careful. The number one predator is the man. And trust me, he comes to you with all these tricks, lying to you about this, that, and the other. He ain't gonna be able to take care of your kids, and he took care of the other girl kids. And all this animosity and things going on in people's homes or what have you, you all are setting the pattern for that. You all are breeding that. You can't keep blaming it on somebody else, which is the reason why you keep doing it, is because you don't take accountability for what you've done. So you'll sit there and you allow what's popular today and try to blame it on racism. That has nothing to do with racism.
No.
Mm-hmm.
So don't go looking for some racist, satisfying answer or some exploitation or victimization to solve the problems that we have in the black community.
Say
We have a violence problem. And you can keep saying that one, it's causing something else. No, you're breeding this violence.
That's right.
When you don't step up and take control of your family, these young women need to know that they have uncles and brothers or whatever that's willing to come to their aid.
Mm-hmm.
Because we got the crazy men among us that prey on them like sheep.
Yes, sir.
Mm-hmm.
They further destroy these women's lives.
Mm-hmm.
It all goes back to your point, brother. Personal responsibility.
Yes.
It goes right back to it. I mean, where's the accountability? We're finding out between 15 and roughly 25, but it's bleeding up to 30. This is the age range where all these shootings and killings are taking place in our ranks.
Mm-hmm.
Whose children? Whose child is this?
Yeah.
I mean, what kind of atmosphere are you raised up in where you just walking around with a gun and it ready, amped up to shoot somebody? Mm-hmm. And over what?
Mm-hmm.
We can't remember the first time you had a fist fight, but we can't forget, the last time you were shooting at somebody.
Now, see.
And over what? What?
That's the thing right there, man. Fist fights, man. I wish we could go back to the days, and people say that's so violent, but people live through fist fights. People live through,
see, but they cowards. You gotta understand, they're cowards, mm-hmm. and they really are cowards, and they don't want to take a loss.
Mm-hmm.
Everything is about a loss. I watched a video not too long ago. It seemed like an older man with a younger guy, maybe in his late 20s, early 30s. The other guy looked like he might have been in his late teens, early 20s, and they got into a brief fist fight.
Mm-hmm.
And the older gentleman gave him a 3-piece and put him on his behind, right?
Mm-hmm.
The young boy reached in his back, pulled out a gun, jumped up at point blank range, and started shooting. Because they don't want to take that loss.
Exactly.
That's the thing. They don't want to take that little admonishing, that little 2-3 piece, that black eye, that busted lip, mm-hmm. that loose tooth, or that little nap that they gonna take. They don't want to take that.
Mm-hmm.
So if they see that's where it's coming to, they gonna up something, extreme, so that they can still say they won.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I watched a man hit another man with a chair, probably 40 times at least.
Mm-hmm.
He's just swinging this wooden chair. The other man just blocking the chair. He keeps swinging it. He keeps blocking it. He keeps swinging it. He keeps blocking it. The chair eventually broke. It was a wooden chair. It broke in half.
Mm-hmm.
The man swung one time and hit the guy. The guy fell on his back. He got it with 2 pieces of a chair, one in each hand. And now he's backtracking. And after the event, he ran up on him and swung and hit him in the forehead with a little piece of it. And then he walked around like he was the champion, like he had won. These 2 grown men, older, probably in their 50s.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
And the one guy, he thought, man, I got him. I'll beat him with that chair. I'm thinking to myself, you a coward. You sitting here swinging a chair. The man sitting there defending himself. He hit you one time. You on your behind.
Yeah, exactly.
And you think you won? Mm-hmm. This is what we're dealing with. This is the mentality that we're dealing with.
Mm-hmm.
So whatever was going on, dude, you came home and killed your wife, killed your adolescent baby child. You say the boy was 8 years old?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Come on now. Come on now, man. You're a grown man and you stabbing an 8-year-old?
Mm-hmm.
And by the mercy of the God, the universe, and everything else that's righteous and good in the existence, he survived.
And now you're gonna chastise him on the stand. You're gonna chastise the little boy on the stand. I just looked up a little bit.
Yeah.
He asked him questions about, did you see me? Did you see me shoot your mama? Did you see me on that night? Did you see me blase blase? And talking about it's good to see you. Little boy said good to see you too, because
Yeah.
I think he said that out of obligation because that's his dad. I think he said it out of obligation. But this happened in Tampa, Florida, man. This is crazy. And now you're gonna sit there, you're gonna chastise your child on the stand for in your defense, not even thinking about what the child has gone through, what the child has seen, what the child had to endure up to this point, and even beyond. Leonard, that's
Yeah.
sick. That's sick.
And that was the first time that the child had seen his father since the incident.
Mm.
Mhm. What could be more cruel
Mm-hmm.
than that to a child to have to go through? But see, these are the environments that we are placing our children in.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Yep.
And all this buffoonery going on this TV set. Mhm. If that is how you people behave, God bless you.
Mm-hmm. Y'all be ashamed of yourself. Y'all be ashamed. Y'all be
If you
ashamed.
don't, if you don't, if this what you call winning and living your life or whatever you doing, it is going to come to an abrupt end.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Because
How long we been talking about?
victims.
James Brown had a song "Sick" talked about King Heroin.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
We know Marvin Gaye's song, right?
Mm-hmm. Mercy,
yes.
mercy me. Mm-hmm.
How long we gonna glorify the negative side of our experience?
Oh,
We've been glorifying the negative side here for a good 30 years now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, how about you change the narrative? I
Yeah.
mean, ain't nobody woke up and realized that that's not reality.
Mm-hmm.
It's only reality if you make it real.
Mm-hmm.
We're not thugs and hoodlums and
Exactly.
gangsters
Come on.
and GAs and all of this
Mm-hmm.
type D's and H's and all.
Mm-hmm.
Who you talk? What is that? I'm gonna do you like I hate you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Exactly.
I thought you loved me. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
what is this?
Mm-hmm.
Savagery,
And that's what it is, brother.
heathenism.
That's exactly what it is. That's exactly what it is. Um, I'm gonna ask a question, man, and I ran across something yesterday, and it was amazing that I saw it. Um, fellow was talking. I'm trying to remember exactly what I can't remember who it was. David Banner. David Banner. He was talking about and I'm sure you both of y'all know about this. The map being turned upside down. Say the map is turned upside down because how deep racism is, and what y'all know anything about the map being turned up and down? He said in his narrative, he said this racism is so deep that certain individuals don't even want you to be above them on the map, so they flip the map to make it seem like their continent was above Africa and Africa was beneath them. Said the Nile River didn't flow south, but it flowed north, and he had so much stuff he was saying, and I didn't get a chance to listen to it all because because I was in the middle of something I had to go. But what do y'all know about that, Pete?
Well, I could definitely tell you there's always been a misrepresentation,
Mm-hmm.
but that's for people who are interested in study.
Mm-hmm.
So it's for people who are interested in knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
But it shouldn't, what I want people to understand is this is not some foreign behavior by someone, like some supernatural being or anything like that. It's people doing these things.
Mm-hmm.
You are just as capable of doing the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
You are just as capable of being just as evil. You get away from this notion that it's everybody else's fault. How they created a map is their business.
Mm-hmm.
Why you believed it is something else.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Pete, what do you say to that?
I'm in line with. See, that's the thing. We at a time now where racism and all of that may be real, but how effective is it if you're being personally and collectively responsible as a group?
Mm-hmm.
You neutralize that immediately.
Mm-hmm.
So we're not catching on to the personal and collective responsibility. when you conquer a people, when you conquer people and dominate a people, you set the terms.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they have definitely placed a map out here that they showed us and taught us over the years. The sizes were wrong. Some of the positionings, were a little off. Then it was done on purpose. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
But again, what do you expect when people have conquered you and they intend to dominate you?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
With the top dog, wolf, lion, monkey, ape, gorilla, what you think? He sit down with the rest of them and say, "Now I'm in charge, so you can't challenge me."
Mm-hmm.
That's not how it works.
Mm-hmm.
They challenge him, and he beat the living daylights out of him, and all but kill him.
Yeah.
And might kill him.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
To establish the fact that I'm in control.
Exactly. Hey, Pete, watch this here. I'm gonna play this because I just actually found it. I'm gonna play the clip and I'm gonna have y'all to comment on that. Then we're gonna verge over to our topic of the day because we certainly haven't gotten it yet. But this is what David Banner had to say, and like I said again, I want to hear y'all input on what y'all think about it. Here it is.
If you study the right knowledge, in actuality, the map of the earth is actually turned upside down. So the south is actually north, and people don't know that. Look up Google the real map or the real world map. It's gonna freak you the fuck out. These white folks are so fucking racist that they put themselves over Africa to always, not just that, to always make you feel like they're above you. Racism is so fucking deep. That's why the Nile River, they said it flows south, it actually flows north. And if you really look at the pyramids in Africa, the pyramids, the development of pyramids actually came from the south. The pyramids were lower and lower, and they were perfecting them as they moved what people consider is the north, right? So in actuality, the information as it pertains to the pyramids actually came from South Africa, and they developed them more. If you
We got a call. We're gonna go to the call in just 1 second. Pete, what did you get out of that?
Yeah, it's a lot. I mean, it's a lot of truth, but what I want us to understand is we can be cognizant, aware of obstacles and infractions, things, barriers, mounted challenges to us as a collective. So being aware of it is one thing, but it's no longer an acceptable excuse for us not advancing and doing what we need to do to be successful and enjoy the fullness of this being. This is why you often hear me say, if you're not prepared and resolved in your mind to sit in blood up to your knees, then shut up and take what you're getting. Well, man, you sound like you're ready to kill everybody. No, I'm saying you have to have a fight down in yourself to be yourself, to fully enjoy yourself, and anything that comes against you, being a living, sentient, flesh and blood being on this planet, and wants to mount a challenge against that, you have to stand against it with everything, whether it look like you or not.
Exactly.
Whether it's two-legged, four, or whatever. If it's a tornado, if you stand there, it's gonna kill you. You're gonna have to do something to mount a defense to survive.
But P, have we been taught? Have we been taught? Like a better term, man, have we been taught a lie?
We've been taught a multiple amount of lies, but the point is, at some point, you have to come to the full knowledge of the truth, and we have a problem with just listen. As long as you begging and playing and praying and procrastinating, you will continue to get what you get. At some point, you taught the lesson if you're raised up in your house. The mother and father gonna tell you one time, they're gonna get a little firmer the second time, they're gonna get stronger and louder the third time. By the fourth time, they're gonna swung on you. Let you know I'm not playing with you. So I mean, this is just common, basic existence, education and rudiments. But it's like we're forgetting. It's like we don't want to come to that. We want to make all these excuses. We want to put everything on everything else. It's on you. It's not on nobody else. You can pray till you see Jesus, but if you don't do what you're supposed to do, the omission of duties is on you. It's not on him. You could be the most solidified Muslim in the world. Hebrew, Jew, agnostic, Moor, whatever, traditional African, whatever you got going on, Udu, you all up in there. What are you doing now? What are you doing yourself every day to improve yourself, your situation, your family, your neighborhood or community, your people, in the world as a whole? What are you doing? So now you cannot get away from the personal responsibility aspect. The only reason we deal with so much insolence and ignorance and stupidity is because we deal with it. We continue to make lemons out of lemonade.
Exactly. Leonard, what did you hear?
Lemonade out of lemons. I'm sorry.
I know what you meant. Yeah, absolutely. Leonard, what did you hear?
Man, I pretty much concur with my brother Pete. I do appreciate, young people pursuing knowledge, but now that you know what, are you just satisfied with knowing? The book says the omission of duties. That is the issue. I don't care how much you know. Now you satisfied because you found out somebody was lying to you. Guess what? It ain't nobody's responsibility to tell you the truth. It's your responsibility to find it.
Come on. That's good.
So if you sit around waiting on your oppressor and the devil to tell the truth, shame on you, and what a waste of your life. And it ain't about whether a map is upside down. When the last time you been to space? When the last time you took a trip around the world?
But
that's
see, my thing
that you won't say.
My question is this right here, though, Leonard. My question is this, and I understand where you're going with it, but my question still stands right here. If we being as trusting as we are,
who are you talking about?
People.
I don't trust nobody.
Well, that's individual. I'm talking about as a whole. I'm talking as a whole.
As a people, supposed to trust God.
Okay, but as a people, as a people, to be so trusting, and believing in what someone tells us. And I know what you're gonna say. Go out there and find out for you. That's fine and that's good. But at the same time, you have to have some kind of a foundation, and the foundation is shaken because of the fact that they've been told they've fabricated the truth.
A dog is a dog. A dog is satisfied with doing what you say. Do you understand?
Go ahead.
So now you behave just like that dog. That's who you are. You're satisfied with doing what somebody else says. I don't know how you got like that, but that's what you're gonna say.
Okay, but there's always been situations and or circumstances where a person had to go on what somebody. When you go on a new job for the first time, the best job you ever had in your life, you have to be trusting that they're telling you how to do that job in the right way because you have no idea how to do it.
Well, you have to trust with caution and discernment. No. You have to trust with caution and discernment. See, that's what we're trying to stress here. Okay.
My question is this. My question is this.
Society is structured a certain way.
Pete, my question is this.
They do certain things a certain way to make a certain.
Let me say this to you. My thing is this right here. If you go in, and we got Rico on the line, we got another call. I want to get to those as well. But my thing is this right here. If you go into a brand new job, you got this brand new job, best job you ever had, that's going to take your family out of the situation, out of the dire situation that they're in. You're going to go in there questioning what these people are telling you, or you're going to listen to what they say so you can make that money and get your family?
No. I'm not saying question to that degree, but you have to have a cautionary discernment about the whole process.
Okay. And at what point do you establish
to go in there and just run steamroll ahead with everything that they're saying? You have to discern yourself.
Exactly. But see, my thing is, at what point do you get to
have a degree of articulation and comprehension and seeing, should I do this? This seems like a misstep. That seems like a long step.
Pete, is that out of the gate?
You got to figure some things out.
Pete, is that out of the gate, or that's something that you have to build up to?
That's something that's in you. It may be dumbed down. See, that's what I'm saying. The cultural effects, right? The cultural conditioning, the social one-on-ones, it does have its place. But the fact that these things exist, this is why the whole structure is so important. This is the foundation. the father, the mother, the application of the two to the children
Mm-hmm.
in the development of these souls and your responsibility as a parent. It's on you to make sure the truth is there. The standards and the principles, the character, the integrity is there.
I've seen
The
situations.
foundation of it comes from there. So when the Bible says the foundations of the earth are all out of place, this is what we're dealing with.
Mm-hmm. But I've
This
seen
is what it's
situations.
talking about.
I've
This
seen
is why we
situations
have all
where
of it.
I've seen situations where as the children can't know because the parents didn't know. Let me go to I think we have Sherelle. Sherelle, good morning. How you doing this morning?
Good morning, how are y'all?
Hey, doing well, doing well. I'm loving this conversation this morning, man. This is good. What do you think about it? What do you think about where we are right now from what you've heard?
I really came in on the tail end of it, so I don't know what were y'all talking about?
Mm-hmm. Well, we started off talking about the young man. There's a young man that's in court right now, and he has killed his wife, his daughter, and attempted to kill his son and set the house on fire. And but the son survived, and now he's in court trying to defend himself, fighting against that very son, trying to make it seem as though the son is fabricating the truth. And he's trying to get off. I don't know whether he's trying to get off. Leonard actually brought it to my attention, but I don't know whether he's trying to get off. Leonard, is he trying to use insanity? What is he really trying to do?
Well, first of all, he won't be getting off.
Mm-hmm.
That's one thing.
Mm-hmm.
And the other thing is what people don't understand, even as ridiculous as things are in this world, even that man has a right to defend himself.
Mm-hmm.
This is how rights work.
Mm-hmm.
This man is able to defend himself because it's his right to defend himself.
Mm-hmm.
What we're used to is people making the rules for you. You just going along with the program. You just I'm going to believe what they say.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Mm-hmm.
Even if this man's craziness, he knows he has the right to defend himself.
Mm-hmm.
They're not going to let him come in here and say, I didn't know what I was doing. This man blatantly admits he killed this woman.
Mm. And so, and
out of his own mouth.
Mm-hmm. And that's where we are right now. That's where we are now talking about this. And that's why I brought the situation about the job. When you have a job, some people just don't know. When you have a job and it's the best job that you ever had, it's going to get your family out of a situation.
I want people to be careful of.
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm.
Y'all gonna quit painting my people as livestock.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you on that.
You're gonna quit acting like you don't have a brain.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Just as responsible for making decisions as that white boy across the street.
But Leonard, this whole society is set on programming. This whole society that we live in is set on programming. But listen to me.
Everybody on this call, if you place yourself beneath your enemy, you will lose.
Mm-hmm.
You will lose every time.
Mm-hmm. I can agree with that.
Every black man who says that he did not, for some reason, can't make a decision on truth and what's right for himself is doomed to be somebody's slave.
But listen to me when I say you this right here. And I agree with you 1,000% on what you just said. I have no dispute about that at all. But my thing is right here. This whole system that we live in right now is based on programming. They're in a very strange way trying to program us in a certain way. Even in that very simple example of this is the stoplight. The stoplight, when you go if when that light turn yellow or something like that, you're gonna prepare yourself to stop. If it turn red, you're gonna stop. That's a program, man. That you program to do those things. Otherwise, you just run right through the light like it's not there. Sherelle, what's on your heart? We got another caller. Got to go get to Rico as well. But Sherelle, what's on your heart?
Oh, I'm just listening.
Oh no.
Yeah, I'm listening.
Good morning, Sherelle.
Good morning. I don't know what's the question. So we're talking about the dude that killed his family and the boy lived. So what's the question?
Well,
the question is, should he get off? What's the question?
Well, actually, no. There was an example of where we are in the society today. I'm asking you what's on your heart based on where we are right now. When you have to deal with situations like that, and certainly he should not get off. No, there's no. That's not even an issue with me. A question. with me, whether he should get off or he should not.
Not gonna get off.
No. And so my thing to you is, where are we as a society right now? Where are we when you have situations like this happening?
I mean, are you talking mentally or mentally?
And take the direction you want to go in. I'll run with you.
I mean, mentally, we're all over the place, but we have been for ages.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, law-wise, we're all over the place, and we have been for ages.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, this situation is just, if he's trying to defend him, he does have a right to defend himself. If he wants to plead insanity, he can.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he can. Is it going to help this situation? Probably not, because he admitted it.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, once you admit that you did something, a lot of this stuff is premeditated. And if you know law, then you know how that goes.
Mm-hmm.
But where we as a society, where are we at? We're all over the place. That's the really cut and dry way to put it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't have an explanation for why and this, that, and the third. I mean, we're all over the place. Number one, because we choose to be. And number two, because I mean, some people may not know where to go to find out what they need to find out, or maybe it could be pride when it comes to, I mean, because, you know, maybe he needed help. Maybe he was in a deep depression. We don't know why this man did what he did. He do.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so maybe he was in a deep depression. Not saying it's an excuse, but there's resources for people to get help. So that's why I say we're here. We're all over the place because we choose to be. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you don't want to.
Sure. Is society sick?
Is society sick?
Yes.
Society's not sick. The people are.
That's good.
I mean, the only way we're gonna fix it is if we fix ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
So and want it to be fixed. So then society will be okay.
Mm-hmm.
And then really, in reality, it's not going to be okay. It's never going to be what we want it to be. You know, so as long as you fix you and you're walking your path the best way you can and doing the right thing the best way you can and try to enlighten people, because you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make them drink.
Mm-hmm.
What are we going to do? Keep crying about it? Can't do it. We've been doing that for too long.
Exactly. Too many tears. Absolutely.
You know.
Rico, what's on your heart, brother?
Grand Rising, everybody.
Yes, sir. Good morning to you. How you doing this morning?
I'm here, bro. I'm here.
Yes, sir.
You know, you said something a second ago, and it got overlooked. It's about that programming.
Mm-hmm.
You know, most people on this planet with dysfunctional behavior think their behavior is normal or okay because they were programmed, they were trained. And it starts early. See, you know, we talk about holding each other accountable, but we got to understand that we came from somewhere. We got programmed somehow. And it starts young. You know, it starts young with saying, this is right, this is wrong. You do right, you don't do wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Then you have situations where children are left under the authority of adults. It may be family members, it might be father, mother, grandparent, and they see that parent doing something wrong. Their grandparent doing something wrong. They might be cheating or talking to somebody else. Don't tell nobody what you saw.
Mm-hmm.
Or they say something to the child. And when they say something to that child, they child realize, wait a minute, somebody tripping.
Everybody mute your line. We got some background noise coming from somebody's line. Everybody mute your line. Mute your line, everybody.
So at times, you know, you might have a parent that tells you to do something, or they might say something, and you be like, no, that was wrong. You know it was wrong. And that parent will say, do it because I said so.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta do this or that. It ain't gonna make sense if you just do it because I said so. Maybe it's wrong. Maybe they told you to go in there and pick this up out the counter and put it in your pocket, but you've already told that's stealing.
Mm-hmm.
Then your older cousin, or older brother or sister is left responsible for you while they going to work or whatever. So go in there and take that Coca-Cola off the shelf, take it out the cooler and bring it out here. They ain't gonna do nothing to you. You young. So you know you have people that have authority over you. Like I said, especially your parents or grandparents that would tell you when you know something is wrong, to do it because I said so. So now you have begun a pattern. That was the source of it. You have started a situation where that child realized, well, even though that's wrong, because I want to do it, I can. Now we don't started some trouble. Then you on society, and that's pretty much how society has progressed. You got colonizers that did what they wanted. You got missionaries that went to Hawaii and did what they wanted. You got fake Jews that went to Israel and did what they wanted. It was wrong. You know, I don't care if it's wrong or not. You do it because I said so. So that's the culture in this world. And if you have the power and authority, what's wrong might be right. Now, when you have people on the bottom end or that don't know any better seeing that, and they understand, you know what, these people got away with that. They did it because they wanted to, and they found a way to justify it. Then, you know, you created a culture. We talk about violence, you know, a lot of this stuff we talking about, like with the court case you're talking about. If the guy can't plead insanity, he's already in trial. He's defending himself as a mentally capable man with no representation. He's representing himself.
Yeah.
He needed insanity because he'd already be probably sentenced. It wouldn't be a trial. And he been putting on a show. The evidence will show. He been showing out. But it's sad. You don't want to laugh, but I know if I was a juror in that case, man, I wouldn't know whether to laugh or whether because it's not a laughing matter. But you know, in some cases, I believe he was one of those people that were brought up seeing a lot of wrongdoing and people telling him that was right. And then as he started doing wrong, he felt like it was right what he was doing, and he never had any barriers. He didn't have any boundaries. But, you know, if you really look at it, it's an indication of dysfunctional behavior. See, a lot of this stuff we talk about on the show, a lot of the topics we bring up, we talk about how our fathers don't get treated right, they're not respected, how everything isn't equal. A lot of that is dysfunctional behavior, dysfunctional programming, because we should all be wanting to treat everybody equal. We should want everybody to be fair to everybody. But it's not, we have selfish tendencies. So, you know, when you have selfish tendencies, you may program those beneath you that's learning to look out for self. And when you look out for self, you find any way to justify it.
Exactly. Donald Toussaint from Oklahoma, Mississippi. Good morning, sir. How you doing this morning?
That's a good question.
Give me a good answer, brother.
You know, sometimes it's just best to keep quiet and listen. You know, we across the board, we live in a dysfunctional society where we're at the edge of the cliff, and everybody's willing to jump off. And there's a crowd yelling, "Jump, jump, jump!" And then there's another crowd saying, cheering us on to self-destruction.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, ain't no. There is no. Not everybody, but for the most part, there's no desire to, quote, do the right thing because nobody knows what the right thing is. It's an abnormal. It's just not. And then it's starting to. It's beginning to be in our toddlers. It's just crazy. I mean, I don't know what you all are talking about, but I know one thing. We live in a dysfunctional society. And we're getting worse.
Yeah.
Smart. We're intelligent. But those that come in the room when you're already there have a desire for you to dumb down.
Wow.
And we come in the room intelligent and smart and proud and almost not necessarily arrogant, but we have that entity in us. And then we when somebody else comes in the room, we shut all that down and we listen.
Mm-hmm.
And then we go in that direction because we don't know what's right no more.
Mm-hmm.
Because we don't want to submit to what's right. And that's a bad word. When somebody says submit, they say, oh no, that's that slave mentality again. Come on now.
Mm-hmm.
Come on now. I mean, if we're all supposedly equal, why am I supposed to be stupid when you come in? All of a sudden,
Mm-hmm.
based on what you obtained or learned or been educated by, or what you read, or what you believe. They don't have nothing to do with me.
Mm-hmm.
Period.
Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Good deal. Good deal.
So if I give over to it, then hey, I just man, might as well be a puppet on the string.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Exactly. Pete, what's on your heart, brother?
Well, it's just the spirit of man and what we're dealing with. We're dealing with, again, personal responsibility, alignment with truth, being able to conceive truth. There's been so much and so many things have transpired. So much has transpired over the years, and attachments have held through generations, perceptions, conceptions, realities, experiences, coming to the knowledge of the truth.
Mm-hmm.
Just really digesting the standard of what the truth is.
Mm-hmm.
And then rebuilding your existence based off of that foundation just seems to be missing, wanting. But, things are as they are, but yet the spirit in man is able to do all that the physical and the mental can conceive in power through the spirit. So basically it comes back to us individually.
Mm-hmm.
Who are you? What are you? What are you doing? What is your pursuit? What are your motivations? Are you seeking knowledge? Then pursue it. Are you, standing for justice? Then represent it. Are you embodying righteousness? Then display it. It just comes back to that. Yes, there are many impediments. It's pouring down, raining right now, where folks have gotten up and prepared themselves, and they are right out here in the elements, whether they're protected in a private conveyance, public transportation, or just a jacket and an umbrella or a hood. They out in the elements, moving forward in life, going through the obstacles. So we just have to make up within ourselves that we are determined to experience the fullness of this being, this existing, this life, and let nothing stand in our way.
Mm-hmm. That's good.
There are obstacles. There are good days and bad days, but you yet have what you need to do all that you need to do, and whatever confronts you, you can overcome.
Absolutely, absolutely. Sherelle, we Pete was talking a lot about truth. As a whole, do we know what truth is?
As a whole, do we know what truth is? No,
Yes.
but we know where to find it. We know where to find it. Sometimes we run from it. Do we know what it is? No, because we're running from it.
Wow.
But we really can't. We really can't really complain about it because we were taught a certain way. So, a lot of people fear what they don't know and what they don't understand.
That's good.
So, we probably just have to find other ways of presenting information. A lot of times sometimes we can present information to where if I don't know what you're talking about, it will look like a lie. Sometimes it could be presentation. And then a lot of times it could just be me because I'm refusing to take in new information because I'm set on this certain way of knowing what you're talking about. So being that my view is different, I don't want to hear what you have to say. You know, sometimes it could be me or it could be the way it's presented to me.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
You know?
Rico, what does that say to you?
What you were talking about what Sherelle said about do we know what truth is?
Both.
Well, I mean, to me, we know what truth is most of the time. We just don't like to accept it. You know? And the reason why we know most of the time what truth is because we know what right and wrong is.
Mm-hmm.
The problem is, like what Donald said, and I said earlier, you know, we come from a very dysfunctional society that has a different set of values, or different ideas of what right and wrong is. Now, everybody knows what right and wrong is, but we have to hold. I mean, you know, we have to really look at the point that at some point in time, a person may come.
Let me ask you this question, Rico, and I agree with what you said, but there's a little stick. I have a little spot there. You say everybody know what right and wrong is. What about the people that goes in our society? There's a lot of people with mental issues.
Well, some of them don't. So in general, we know what right and wrong is.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Guided. But you know, the reason why we're so dysfunctional because we've been confused and taught to be contradictory. Because we hear right from wrong. We're told to do this, not to do certain things. But later on, somebody, like I said, with authority will come back and negatively influence us.
Mm-hmm.
Bad information. They may influence us to do something bad. So now here it is, you know it's bad, but this person with the authority over you just told you to do something bad. So now you started this dysfunctional behavior. Because if dysfunctional behavior comes from confusion and contradiction, you know, it's a lot that plays a part in that. So now you leave this young individual in turmoil, confused. They don't know which way to go. Well, if I do this, I might get in trouble, but I just saw them do this and they didn't get in trouble. Bullies know right from wrong, but somewhere somebody showed them or told them it was right to be a bully. They can't stop. They've been misprogrammed. So, you know, we really have to look at that as we consider ourselves being our brother's keepers. We have to understand that most of the time when we see this dysfunctional behavior, it was because somebody had their own personal intention of why they had that, I'm gonna say that mindset that they put into their child, or why they have the mindset that they use in everyday life. Why is it that you know right from wrong, but when it comes to certain situations, you'll say, well, you know what, I'll do wrong this time just to get what I want. That's pretty much what everybody does. You know, it's dysfunctional behavior. If we really want to hold ourselves accountable, which we really should, we have to go back and look within ourselves and say, you know, when is it that we choose to accept wrong to get what we want? And then when other people see it, we got to remember, when they see it, do we say, yeah, I was wrong? Or do we run and hide? It's a sort of tricky subject that you're talking about, but I understand that everybody has different upbringing. Everybody's idea of what right and wrong is not the same, but I know, at the same time, the end result is the same. Like if you break a law, the end result is the same.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Leonard, what's on your heart, brother? And we're going to jump over to our topic for today.
Man, I'm wondering what was the topic today anyway? Because I did not read.
Oh, you didn't get
it at all.
Okay,
but it's definitely something that is always on my mind. I spend a lot of my time, in pursuit of philosophical things. And let me tell you something. You have to understand it's complicated, but it's not. I know a lot of stuff I simply do not need. I know a lot of stuff just for entertainment purposes. Knowing is not the answer. Because now that you know, what are you going to do? Are you going to do better because you know?
Yeah.
Or are you going to pretend that you don't so you don't have to do better? Now, y'all not going to make me sit here and feel like I'm an alien. Y'all not going to do that today.
Not today. What about tomorrow?
Don't know right. You really don't know right from wrong. Really, you don't.
Mm-hmm.
Really, you don't. God bless you. God help you. I'll pray for you each and every day.
Mm-hmm.
But I am not that foolish.
Now you got to understand. Some people have mental issues, Leonard, and maybe they have.
I don't care nothing about no. I don't care nothing about no mental issues.
Mm-hmm. Well, whether you care or not, they still exist. Whether you care or not, they still exist.
There is no exception.
Mm-hmm.
You know it, but you just don't want to do it.
Mm.
I've been there. See, I'll challenge my humanity against anybody. One thing I know is I know the human being.
Mm-hmm.
I've been very up close and up front and personal with the human being.
Mm. Mm.
You're being something that you know you should not be. Doing things that you know you should not do. And this is why you're winding up in the situations that you're winding up in.
Mm.
Take that from your friendly alien, okay?
Your friendly alien, okay. Casper the friendly ghost. I got you. But my thing is this right here, man. You feel the way you feel about that. I think that there are some people with mental issues out there that it's a challenge. It's a challenge for them sometimes because of the mental instability that they may be dealing with. Does it justify them doing certain things? Possibly not. But you also have to look at does it hurt? It can, yes. Yes, it can.
Okay.
Yes, it can.
Okay.
Toussaint. Donald Toussaint.
Yeah.
Coming to you we're gonna start the topic off with of the day with you, and I'm gonna ask a simple question, man. You go where you want to go with it. Ready for it?
Yeah.
How do rumors get started?
I had to really think about that. I think that it's just me. I think that it starts with a listening ear.
Mm.
Now you throw that out there. You can shut it down right where it starts.
Mm-hmm.
If you just don't pay it no mind. Mm-hmm. But when folks start listening to stuff, and then passing it on, but you got to first take it in.
Mm-hmm.
That's just me.
Mm-hmm.
Hear somebody say something. I could say something right now in this crowd right here, right among us, and let's take it 2 miles. And I guarantee you, it'll change.
Mm-hmm.
And it might wind up in out of somebody's mouth into somebody's ear. That's just a rumor.
Mm.
And then it just keeps on going. Mm-hmm. But it's the way you take it in. It causes it to be a rumor. It might be true. Ain't no telling.
Mm-hmm.
Depends on who's listening.
Exactly. That's good. Brother Pete, how do rumors get started?
Well, people talking, opening their mouths.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then you interpret what was said, and you carry the story and open your mouth and share that story with somebody else. Exactly, or maybe exaggerated. And now this little concept and taken on to become a world all to itself.
Mm-hmm. So basically, you add your own little flavor into the story.
Maybe not. You may tell it exact, but you told it.
Mm-hmm.
You shared it with somebody, and then they shared it with somebody, and now it's done taken off and become a whole world to itself.
Wow.
Talk too much. Learn how to shut up. Some things don't need to be shared. That's how rumors get started. But let me revisit real quickly, if I can. There's a spirit in man, right? The Bible say that you should worship God in spirit and in truth. I'm drawing on something. You don't have to believe in the Bible, God, Jesus, none of that. I'm using that as an example for context. Within yourself, there's a council that takes place. Nothing outside of you that will counsel you on what's right and wrong. If you don't have a concept of right and wrong, how do you know when you are wrong?
Mm-hmm.
Then there's no concept of you mistreating me or doing me wrong or me suffering any abuse, harm, loss, whatever. There's no concept of that if you don't understand right and wrong.
Mm-hmm.
See, come on.
Yeah.
Even a mentally deficient individual, don't they say they have good days and they have bad days?
Mm-hmm.
They know to eat, don't they?
Yeah. Yeah.
They know when they got to boo-boo. If they don't even know when they have to boo-boo, their body does. Because everything is set up on the principles of truth. Everything is. Your whole being is founded in the principles of truth. It's not a spiritual thing that you can title as, this is Christian. No. It's a principle of being.
Mm-hmm.
That's how it is. That's what it is. Your whole existence is based off of that. So, at the end of the day, we can go ahead with the mental and spiritual masturbation.
Mm-hmm. Good deal. Good deal. Rico, how do rumors get started?
People speaking what they assume and not speaking facts. See, if it's not facts, but you can't guarantee that it's false, then it has to be a rumor.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty much something that you assume happened if you don't know what the facts are. So anytime you go off and you want to tell a story, you want to repeat some information that you heard, but you don't have the facts, then it is rumored or reported to be what you were saying. Or maybe it's assumed to be what you were saying. But anytime you repeat information without knowing the facts or whether it's true or not, you know what I'm saying, that's how the rumors get started. It's simple as that. You know what I'm saying? If you don't know what you're talking about, if you can't prove if it's right or wrong, then it ain't no use of bringing it up. So you can put the story out there and have questions. And with those questions, you also throw your angle to the story in. Well, I wonder if they did this because of that reason.
Yeah.
Go to the story with the man in Florida that killed his family. I wonder did he do it because she was cheating? I wonder did he do it because he was abused? I wonder did he do it because his mom and daddy did him like that? Maybe he seen his daddy beating on his mom and set her on fire. You know, and I heard he did this. I heard he did that. But nobody knows the facts but him.
Mm-hmm.
He know whether or not he saw people doing right or wrong and then coming back telling him, well, yeah, it was wrong, but shut up. Do it because I said so. Go in there and say, no boy, but that's my friend. I remember my aunt, I had an aunt one time, the one that liked to lie on everybody, make up lies. The one that liked to spread rumors and make up it's sensational lies on everybody. When I was young, heard my aunts for entertainment purposes. That might be some of the reason why it happened. Used to make me beat up my friends.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't like to beat them up. You know what I'm saying? So what they would do, they would trigger that friend that unwillingly didn't understand that I was gonna beat them up if we didn't keep being friendly and playing and we start going in this direction. So they might say, hey, can you beat Rico up or something like that? Come here, you my little boyfriend, give me a kiss. I bet you won't hit Rico. That was to get back at me because I wouldn't do what they told me to do.
Mm-hmm.
Don't do that. Don't do that. Let's go play. Let's go do something different. They trying to use us for their entertainment, but he didn't catch on because he wanted to impress the older people.
Mm-hmm.
Put them things on them. You know what I'm saying? Do what was wrong. Don't get me wrong. I had to do what was wrong, but at the same time, he was influenced by people that had authority over him. Now, is when he got older, did he continue to be influenced, even though he knew the difference between right and wrong? Was he influenced by people in power? That had influence, was influenced by somebody, celebrity, or somebody he wanted to fit in with to go do something wrong? Or did he learn from that point forward? You know what? I got to do what's right. I don't care what nobody else say.
That's good.
You know, so I mixed that in. I hated that I went back there. But you know, that a lot of times that's how I get started with that same aunt that would just make up stuff or just get it agitated. We are instigators and agitators that would do that to the point of where me and my friend would have to fight, and he'd go home crying. Now we got a bigger problem. His mom and daddy come to want to know who put their hands on their son.
Yeah, exactly.
Daddy, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, You start being programmed with this dysfunctional behavior as normal. That's what we do in the hood. Rights of passage, street cred, all that stuff that we are considering normal is abnormal behavior. But you know, I don't even like to hunt. I mean, you know, just think about it. Some people like to hunt for sport. They don't even hunt for survival. They like to hunt for sport. And I don't. I don't. I ain't saying I don't like guns.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you know, I just don't like to hunt for sport. I mean, I don't just want to kill for the heck of it, but some do.
Yeah.
And some of the level of animal might be human to
Exactly.
But the thing is, like you were saying about the rumor, that's where it comes from. You know, most people will put their own version out there. They're trying to guess or find. Come from being nosy. I wonder what, girl. I wonder what happened. Man, I wonder what you try to find out the information, then you put your own scenario to it. It's your scenario. And somebody else know what that could have happened, especially when you on soap operas. You know, we live in a soap opera society, so everything now has to be more sensational. Some things can't happen just because it was plain and simple a mistake. Sometimes it always has to be a huge agenda.
Okay. Hold on. Exactly. Hold on 1 second, Rico. Let me pull Sherelle in here. Sherelle, how do rumors get started?
Rumors get started by you telling somebody something. That's how they start, by you talking. And then they take that, whatever you said, and form their own story about it, and then that's how it starts. You know, or maybe it don't even have to be about you telling somebody. Maybe they don't like you for whatever reason, and just form the story. It could be somebody else. I mean, it starts from a negative place, really. It starts from a negative mindset, really. That's where it starts from.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, I mean, you think I'm doing something, you thinking something. That's what it starts from. You thinking something that might be what it is and might not be what it is.
That's good. Toya, with a T, talk. I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Toya, with a T, how do rumors get started? Toya, you there? Toya with a T, talk to me. Toya with a T, going once. Toya with a T, going twice. 470 area code. Toya, that's you, right? Okay. We got another call from the 816 area code. Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from?
Kansas City, K with E.
K with E. Good morning, young lady. How you doing this morning?
Oh, just well rested.
Good deal. Good deal. Okay, how does rumors get started?
Trusting people. You trust somebody and you tell them something, and then they take what you tell them and add to it or take from it, and there's a rumor.
Wow, that's good. That's good. Leonard, talk to me, brother. How do rumors get started?
Oh, rumors get started by your enemies. That's it. That's a rumor ain't nothing but a tool that people use against you. For whatever reason, they conspire in their own hearts to do something to you. Anybody can start a rumor.
Yeah. Exactly.
Anybody can start a rumor. And they do it for some personal reason, but as a tool to defame people, embarrass people, all types of things. But if it's just a rumor, it's a rumor. But that's what the devil does. It's just the first, just a part of a war. They wage war against you by creating rumors. Even the simplest person, she did so. You know how little kids will say things about one another. And if you ask them why they do it, they'll tell you, I wanted to hurt her. That's what a rumor is.
Yeah.
So that's why people take things so serious. You lied on me. Now you want to talk about, but why did you do that? What did I do to you to make you want to do that to me? So even if you weren't a Christian and had read the Bible and nobody told you that, you knew that hurt. You knew how that felt. That's why you shouldn't do that to someone.
Yeah. Yeah. Pete,
it's not that difficult.
exactly. You're right. Pete, how damaging can a rumor be? Pete, you there?
You said who?
Pete, brother Pete. Let me go. We might have lost him. He may be inside a building or something. Rico, how damaging can a rumor be?
It could be very damaging, but you know, we can't get it confused. A rumor ain't got to be negative all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Now, really and truly, if you want to talk about where a rumor comes from, a rumor comes from motive. You know, you have a motivation like, I'm gonna stick this rumor out there. I heard the federal government was gonna legalize marijuana.
Mm-hmm.
They gonna overturn some of those convictions.
Mm-hmm.
I heard Trump was gonna do that when he was in office. I heard they say. I heard Alabama was gonna get a lottery.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people want a lottery. That's a good thing for some people. Some don't want a lottery in Alabama. The same one that don't want the lottery in Alabama goes across state lines and play the lottery. So they have motivation to dispel that rumor. So they might go out and put out another rumor that, well, I heard that if we get a lottery, we're not going to make it for education. So it's all about the motivation, because some people want certain things to happen, some people don't want certain things to happen. Whether it benefits them or whether they don't want it to benefit somebody they don't like. It's reported to be. It's reported to be. So it's always a motivation behind that, whether you're going to win or somebody else is going to win, whether you're going to lose or whether somebody else is going to lose. If you're worried about losing some rights, all somebody got to do is say, hey, the legislators meeting today on a lottery. They're thinking about coming up with a bill for the lottery. Oh, man, you want a lottery so bad. Here it is when you repeat it to the next person. Girl, they talking about a lottery again. I heard Alabama's going to get a lottery. That ain't what it was said. But we want one so bad. We want one so bad, we might even vote for the wrong one.
Wow.
We didn't dig into the details. And so there are rumors of what this lottery is supposed to be, depending on who actually markets it. And they might be the first one not realizing they supposed to cross this one out because there's another one on the board to help support education. But we are rumored to have a lottery kind. So, you know, that's how it comes. Sometimes it's not negative. Sometimes it's a good thing. It's all about your motivation and pretty much what you hope. If somebody does make up a lie, your enemy, they hoping this happened to you. Girl, I heard they were going to lock up them people with them PPP loans. They're jealous and mad because somebody stole them that money. They didn't get to steal it. So they hoping they're going to go to jail. I heard they were picking people up today. But you know that really you hoping this. So it's about the motivation of the person that puts the rumor out there. It might be positive, it might be negative, it might be good for them, bad for them, might be good for you, bad for you. But it's all about that motivation, that urge that you have. That's where a rumor comes from, the urge and motivation of the person that puts it out there.
Leonard, how much responsibility should go into the person if they want to spread a rumor or something like that?
Well, like you say, it's really, like Rico was saying, rumors can be true. You know, they're what they call doubts or truths. So they could be true, but they can't be verified. You know, you understand the difference?
Yeah.
You know, no one knows for certain what the truth may be. And that's why it's a rumor, because no one can say it's certain.
Is that almost like, and I'm just throwing something going on a deep, I'm jumping off the deep side here, Leonard. Is that almost like when people talk about UFOs and stuff like that, where I saw a UFO but you can't verify you can't verify the fact that it was there, but you saw it.
Right. You just can't verify it.
Yeah. Okay.
So like, you know, what the speaker or Rico was saying, all rumors aren't false. But the truth hurts as well.
Yeah.
This shit can't be verified. There's lots of things that can't be verified that we hold as true.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why we created this thing called belief.
Mm.
So if you can convince people that these things that they don't even know about, but if I can convince you that they're true,
Mm-hmm.
I can get you to do certain things. Or if I can get you to accept them as true, that may change how you vote. That may change how you feel about somebody. That might just provoke you to go and kill someone.
Mm. Mm. Wow. Wow. Toward you with a T. How do rumors get started?
Easy. Opening of a lip, basically in a nutshell. That's all it takes. You know, different people. I think Rico said it earlier. That motivation, man. All it takes for one person, for whatever their reason, and we got a lot of people with mental health, to just say something for whatever. Maybe it's because they like you more than you like them. Maybe it's because whatever their agenda is.
Mm-hmm.
It's real simple. Oh, well, such and such is a woman beater. Oh, well, such and such be stealing the money.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well, such and such, and how you stop the rumors. Oh, let me go act such and such, because you know what, that ain't right, and we Christians, so we got to go talk to them about stealing money and being woman beaters and stuff like that. No, I don't want to talk to them now. You think if they are such and such that they really gonna talk? Okay, well then I ain't gonna pay you no attention because you don't want to go access the problem. But it's really that easy. Just twisting of a lip.
Mm-hmm.
Especially if you know you're influential, right? Because me and you got a relationship, and because these people know me and they know me for being on the up and up. So now I'm going to use that because you may not know the other person that well. So now I want to use my influence. And but no. You don't want to deal with them. You don't want to deal with them because this, that, and third. And because y'all know me and y'all know how I am, and y'all don't know the other person, I can persuade you to kind of not deal with another individual because you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We on the up and up. So now you're going to use your influence to not fool with somebody and you don't even know them. Like, it's real. It happens all the time. They do it to black people all the time.
Mm-hmm.
All black people steal. All black people rob. All black people cheat. Oh, like they ain't never did it. All black people murder and they just murdering folks around. And black people this. And then now everybody across the world, oh, black people this and black people that and black people this. We the same people that you white folks is, you Chinese folks is, you all y'all kill. All y'all got carrying on going on. And y'all get to America and act like, oh, everything y'all heard about black folks, just don't no other race do that except black folks. So that is real easy to start a room. Just open up your mouth and the lies fly.
Absolutely. Goddess, good morning. How you doing this morning?
Good morning.
God, I need to find out, how do rumors get started?
Sometimes rumors get started with good intentions. Sometimes rumors get started with the good intentions and of that individual who knows the truth, and sometimes people don't want to accept the truth. So they take it and run it as a rumor. And sometimes it's hard to might not have the proof, but other people seen it for themselves, and you know the kind of character that they wouldn't come to you with that because of their character. So if you don't have hard-earned proof, it's kind of hard to let somebody else know unless you had hard-earned proof. Okay. Does that make sense? I think I'm explaining it correctly.
Gotta have something to how you say the thing, validify. I guess that's a word.
And that's why we have so many gatekeepers in certain areas, in certain departments, and we have a lot of gatekeepers. They look like us.
Exactly. That's good. It's this rumor thing, and I asked a question a few minutes ago, and I want to go to let me go to Sherelle. Sherelle, should there be some kind of responsibility? Should you take ownership if you put that rumor out there, and then you find out that, oh man, that's not right? Should you take responsibility? Should you go back and clean that thing up? Sherelle, you there? I think we might have lost Sherelle. Let me go to Rico. Speak on that, brother.
Yeah, that's definitely something you got to do if you have some kind of type of standard about yourself. See, one thing I don't like to do is I don't like to misinform people. Pride myself in knowing if I'm giving people the correct information, or if I even know myself the correct information. I pride myself in knowing the details of it. But you asked that question, how do rumors get started? A person gets a motivation to persuade other people of something good or bad. It ain't, like I said, it doesn't have to be bad. It can be something good. I heard we was getting another stimulus check. Somebody want another stimulus check. They saw a newspaper article that said, is there, the title read, is there another stimulus check on the horizon? They want another stimulus check. They bad. All they saw was another stimulus check.
Mm-hmm.
Room. You know, we get another check.
Yeah.
But are we getting one?
I don't know about that. But see, the thing is that you have a motivation and a craving. You know what I'm saying? You want that check yourself. So it might be easier for you to not only put that rumor out there, but receive it. Just assume that's what that is. That's how you might create the rumor, because that's the way it feels. It feels that way to you. That's what makes you feel good to hear it that way. So you're gonna report it the way that it made you feel. You just misinterpreted the whole message that you got.
Yep.
The message was correct. Was correct. But the way you, because of your motivation, is the way you repeated it to somebody else, because you want another stimulus check. So you didn't detail. You didn't express the correct facts. So I mean, it's easy to start a rumor, and then on top of it, when you do find out that you did put the wrong information out there, or that you did put it, I hate to say a rumor, because sometimes you ain't trying to spread a rumor. Sometimes you're just trying to give information that you thought was good information to know. But when you put that wrong information out there, yes, you got to go back and say, hey man, let me recount. Let me take that back. Let me recant this. Well, nobody gonna repeat no lies and then put my name on it, because I'm not a liar. So yeah, you got to correct that, because you will get called out if you don't.
And Rico, you did something, man, on your show one day. You had a show based on one thing, and then you went back and you said, hold on. No. Let me clean it up. I said this right here, but it's actual with this right here. And I was like, yo, that's good, because you took it upon yourself. Nobody called you, nobody said anything to you, but you found out on your own that what you had said was not right, and you came back the next show. You said, hold on, I said this the last time, and doing my research, that's not right. This is what it is. Right here.
The funny part about that was I didn't feel right when I was repeating that, but I took from reputable sources.
Yeah.
Word source. The source is key. I took it from two people that worked at the AIDS clinic. You could not contract HIV from a woman who heterosexual. So if a man had it, you assume. This was going on with Magic Johnson and all these other men. Oh, you down low, dirty dogs. You it was bad, it's been bad. I was just like, man, I ain't right with that. And I repeated it to you, and I was like, you know what? I'm fixing to call in, and because number one of the people is the son of the aunt that I got that like to make up lies and repeat the most sensational stuff. So I was like, you know what? I might not be able to take his word for it. And I've been telling people this for about 4 or 5 years. Let me call somebody that's higher up the ladder than them, because he's just a transportation driver. He don't treat them. He just pick them up back and forth. So he isn't the expert. He's just an employee. I took his word because he worked at the AIDS clinic that he must be the person that I could trust with this information. But He wasn't. It was just, it benefited him and made him feel better to put that out there. So now on, it has this, can have that sensational rumor put above him. And it, like I said, carried. But I verified it. I checked it,
Exactly.
and then said, you know what, let me do a show on this, because I'm pretty sure other people have done the same thing. So yeah, that's accountability.
Yeah, exactly. Let me go to Tucson. Tucson, what's on your heart, brother? If you put something out there, man, and you find out later on that it's not factual, should you go back and clean it up, man, or just say, well, it wasn't intentional, just let it go?
Well, you should. But when it's a rumor, most of the time it's followed. Whatever's said, it's followed, or it starts off with, "Don't tell nobody I told you, but." Yeah, I didn't say that, but or let's say
you didn't hear this from me, but
if I did it, yeah, you didn't hear this from me. But let me just throw it out there. No credibility, unreliable source.
Yeah,
that's where rumor starts. Unreliable source. Just being willing to be the first one to tell. You know, they stole Jesus' body. Or you see somebody in talking to somebody simple. You know they fooling around. I didn't say it, but I'm just telling you. Don't know what they talk about. Just want to throw it out there. I'm gonna be the first one to tell. I got all this, and then the recipient of what's being said like to hear something juicy. They had a guy at work with me, and he'll walk sideways to you, and he say, "Had you heard?" And he'll go, I used to tell him something. And we have an East Bank and a West Bank, two sides of the river. And you tell him something at 8 o'clock, and by 12 it'd be on the other side.
Good Lord.
Don't know how it got there. But it starts off with him saying, "Had you heard?" And then he'll say, "I didn't say it, but you know, I'm just telling you." And they're running around. There's a rumor going out on me now. There's many of them, by the way.
Not about you, Donald. Not about you, Donald.
Wondering. Yeah, man. Yeah. No mind either. Because I don't pay no attention to it. Guy come up to me, call me up. Manager called me up. Supervisor called me up. One of the workers called me. So they tell me you going over to another warehouse. There's a rumor going around. And it started off with a conversation between me and upper management. He asked me if I ever thought about it. I said, you know what? Change might be good. That's all I said. And before you know it, I was getting tons of calls. It was just a rumor. But somebody really wanted to hear it. Just throw it out there. And you think it starts off with what you think is a private conversation. That actually is not.
Now, Leonard, you there?
Yes, sir.
Are there rumors? Are there a lot of rumors floating around in church? Oh, certainly there's no rumors in the church house. In the church house, come on, Leonard. Certainly no.
Oh, I'm sure there's some rumors in the church. There usually are. There's gonna be rumors wherever people are. Because, like I said, true or not, It just can't be verified.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Let me ask you
I
this.
like what Donald has said about rumor. They say they stole Jesus' God.
Yes, sir.
That's rumor.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Some people still believe that rumor.
Exactly. Now later, if the pastor and his wife was on their way home from watching a movie, and they had car trouble, and they you know, they had car trouble, so they had to pull over, and just so happened they pull over in a bar and park the car in the bar's parking lot, get an Uber home because the hour is they had to come back and get the car the next day, and park the car there, go home, get an Uber lift home. Next day is Sunday, so they in church. Is there a possibility that somebody can have a rumor that they was in that bar drinking and having a good time and partying and doing all kind of things, when all actuality the car broke down and they just had to just had to park the car right there and go home?
Like I said, that's a rumor. If anything could be a rumor. I like what Donald said, because if you were listening to Donald did have a conversation about it. As a matter of fact, Donald said, he said change would be good.
Yeah.
The rumor is that he's going somewhere. He said change would be good.
But he never said he was
leaving. He didn't say he was going nowhere.
Exactly.
Now those are people calling about what they heard. Because they calling trying to verify if the rumor is true or not.
So basically they're being nosy.
See, the rumor is he going.
So basically they're being nosy is what you're saying.
Yeah, they're being nosy. Because he said change would be good.
Yeah.
The rumor is that he's leaving.
Wow.
So, and because it's a rumor, you have to find out the truth. And the person that knows the truth is Donald. I used to test people that way. I may tell you something, don't tell nobody else. That's how I find that. That's how you find that rat in your camp.
Yeah. Yep.
So I tell you something. I tell one girl in the office something, and before you know it, she done went out there and told another one and another one and another one. And then I come out and I say, I know it was you because I told you that. That's how I know it was you.
Yeah.
And I didn't tell nobody that but you.
And ain't no way you're gonna lie about it and say you didn't tell it because you didn't tell nobody else. Nobody else had that information.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you know, you can use rumor to your advantage. But a rumor, when you hear it, if you believe it's rumor, then you go try to verify it. Some people just pass it along, regardless they verify it or not, because they're not even interested in whether or not it's true or not. That's just a rumor. You just pass the rumor to somebody else, and you pass it to somebody else. Then somebody may add something to that, even to that. But like Donald said, change would be good.
Yes, sir.
And somebody else went and told somebody that Donald was going somewhere.
Exactly. Toya, let's talk to me. Talk to me about the rumor situation. Talk to me, Toya.
Yeah. Now, see, you know, you ain't got to tell one person, and then that one person tell everybody. That I'm not gonna do that because I was gonna say my name. I'm not gonna be able to. But they can just tell one person. They can just tell one person, and that person go around telling everybody. See, let me tell you how somebody did me one time, right? You gotta be careful because see, I don't really fool with folks, right? I don't really fool with folks, but I fool with folks. And when you're dealing with cunning, conniving people, like I'm not gonna say the name, it's trying to jump out my mouth, but I'm not gonna do it. But conniving people pay attention that you don't bother with people, and they use that with rumors. So they came and told me rumors about all y'all, because they know I don't fool with y'all like that, like that. But then you go on to y'all telling rumors about me, but we don't all fool with each other like that. So we really ain't carry around the mess. you know what I'm saying? We just kind of let the mess come in the building and just let it sit there on the floor. Mm-hmm. But when it comes to rumors, you got to be real careful with the person that may be putting them out, man, because people, it's like child molesters, rapers, abusers. They have this method that they use to kind of just check out or case the place, let me say. Mm-hmm. They know how y'all react, the things you may talk to them about. Not for nothing, I'm learning that most liars, they come to you and infiltrate you first. Hey, what's going on? What you doing? Oh, this, that, and third. Because they pick it to see how you interact with people. And then that's when they infiltrate the rumors and the lies. Then. Oh, you don't deal with that person like that. You don't deal, oh, well, such and such, you know, such and such and such and such, because y'all already don't deal with each other like that. So now they just make it even worse. Them rumors is detrimental. Rumors, I think at this point in time, you know, we be sitting up talking to myself, nah, I don't want to start nothing. Nah, we grown. Mm-hmm. We 40 plus in the building. We started something at 40. Nah, hey, listen, such and such. So listen, I'm finna call such and such and we finna have this conversation because she came and told me this, that, and third. Like we can't at this age in the game, 40 plus, we shouldn't still be dealing with rumors. It's not rumors, it's lies at this point. You know what I'm saying? And in only way because potentially people can get murdered. She was messing with you this, he was messing with you that. Like, we need to be calling people and checking people, man. And I'm mad because I remember every time I'd be like, next time I catch a liar, I'm busting them out. And this chick would laugh, knowing that she was the culprit running around dropping rap droppings. Mm-hmm. You understand what I'm saying?
How was she laughing? Sorry, how was she laughing?
Like a hyena supposed to. For information. Knowing that, you know, once I get up the morning show, I'm off the morning show. You know what I'm saying? If it's an emergency, holler at me. If it's an event, I would think about that too. The rumors go deep, right? Because every time you would have an event, this person will come. Oh, you want to come over here? Like, girl, why is you calling me to come with you there? You know I'm finna go to this, that, and that. No, well, you know, you can do, like, we really got to pay attention. And when we do pay attention, sometimes we got to say something and bust them out in Jesus' name, man. Because they think because you don't say anything that you don't know what they're doing. And it just gives them fuel to do more demonic behavior. So 2021, this is bust out century. You heard? If you a demon, if you a liar, if you a manipulator, you got rumors, this is bust out century. From this point on, the rest of the century while I'm living, I'm busting you out straight up. I might not do it on live, but I'm sure gonna get the other person, get on the phone call or my most worthiest people, and we finna get on the phone and we finna go ahead and check you real quick one time, make sure you ain't lying, because it's too much, we too old for it.
Exactly. Kay with the E, talk to me, sis. What's on your heart?
Just listening. What was I going to say about this rumor thing? What if it's a person? How do an individual put the rumors on themselves? Start their own rumors about themselves.
I mean, that happened in a celebrity arena all the time. In a celebrity arena, that happens quite often. They'll put mute your line.
Realize they.
Okay, go ahead.
Some people do it and don't even realize that that's what they're doing. And people come to me and be like, "Why did such and such?" That's that own individual. Did they do that themselves today? Did they say that they self? Well, they did it themselves. They said they still well, then they started their own rumor. It's not a rumor. Y'all make it a rumor because they said it and they didn't think y'all was gonna go nowhere with it. But people got to think about it before you do or say things. That there are other people listening, and then you're saying it and doing it, and it's you. So you're starting the rumor on yourself. Nobody started it. You started it.
Wow. Tucson, what do you say about that? Somebody started their own rumor.
You know what? Can I be honest?
Yes, sir.
I expose folks by just throwing something out there. Just throw it out there. I know you the one that be doing stuff, that be spreading rumors. So let me give you something and see how it comes back. And people, I do it all. I do it a lot. I mean, really, I don't do it a lot, but I do it when I know somebody is scheming and plotting and doing stuff that they have no business, throwing rocks and hiding their hands, and they play like they on your side, they in your corner. Oh man, I'm gonna stick with you, man. If you ever need anything, let me know.
Mm-hmm.
So I said, man, let me listen at this juggler, and I know it came from him.
Yeah.
So I said, hey, bro, let me just tell you this, and I be doggone.
Mm-hmm.
If it don't be next day or it won't be long, when it comes back, he can flip the script on me.
Yep.
And I said, well, you know what? I knew I couldn't trust him in the first place.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Just give him something.
Mm-hmm.
That's how you expose folks.
Mm-hmm.
Not necessarily to be one to expose, but see, we trustworthy
Yeah.
of information that we put out as truth, and it ain't true.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, first of all, I think they'll have a church meeting on the pastor and his wife.
Mm-hmm.
They don't plan on putting him out by Sunday morning.
Yeah. He been
just by somebody passing by or coming out the club. They coming out the club and they see the pastor's car and they put it out there. Well, wait a minute now. Pastor, his wife was out at 12 o'clock and I saw them in club Buddha. And wait a minute. How you know they call it there?
Yeah, exactly.
So that must say something about me.
Hey, that's exactly how they do it. 12:30, 1 o'clock. Where were you at? Why you weren't at home? That's just how it is. Brother Pete, you back with us? I think we lost Brother Pete now. And so we're gonna keep this thing going. Let's go with Goddess. Goddess, what's on your heart?
No, I was shocked at what Kay was talking about. They put their own rumor out, and some people put the wrong rumor out because they can't keep the quietness on themselves. Some people can't keep their own secret.
Wow.
And I think that's what I've seen. I've seen them put a rumor out on themselves because they can't keep their own secret.
Wow.
Isn't that weird? That's a weird situation when you can't keep your own secret, but you got to let it out because you know what you're doing ain't right, and eventually it'll come to the flourishing. I like to see stuff come to flourishing because eventually a person will tell on themselves.
Wow, that's good. Rico, what's on your heart, brother?
Yeah, we have situations where you have opportunistic people that try to manipulate a situation to get they want to impose their will. It might not have anything to do with them, but they just have a certain belief system. Like, say, for instance, in the past, when white men didn't want white women talking to black men. I say, you know what? They got tails.
Yeah.
That might be disgusting for somebody to think of a person having a tail coming from their body. But see, if they trust you and you tell them this, they may be so disgusted that they won't take the time to find out themselves. But then, like Leonard said earlier, some people will go and find out themselves. They'll verify it themselves. Like when I went to school, I went to a majority white school. Some of those white girls were like, well, wait a minute. But y'all black guys to be so this and that, this and that, this and that. Why aren't you like that, Rico? I couldn't keep them white girls out my face. Their dad has said about black people. That wasn't true. Don't get me wrong. You had a few of them that walked around and they felt like they had to uphold that stereotype too. I'm gonna be disruptive in class. I'm gonna talk as ignorant as I can. You know that I'm gonna be the hood dude in school because that's what they say we are. So that's what we're gonna do. But then you had some of us that proved that ideology was totally wrong. So you dispel that rumor about the tail. But then you tell somebody that smell like fish. I ain't finna verify that.
Yeah.
Does he smell like fish? Oh man, I hope that's a lie. But see, you trust this person, and you would not expect this person to say they friend that came to visit them left their house smelling like fish everywhere they said smell like fish. But it sounds so disgusting and you trust this person this much that when you get this image in your mind of this person, and you see this person from now on and you thinking fish, you ain't gonna verify it in the situation. So, you know, you have opportunities for people that observe you and they know your passion. They know where you stand. They know there's certain things you're not going to put up with. They know you got standards. And they'll utilize those rumors. So, you know, we always have to remember that every human being has a motivation. It's just a matter of if it's a good motivation or a bad motivation. But you always have your head on the swivel. You always got to be willing to verify information, especially when it's volunteered. You know, any kind of help is volunteered. You got to be leery of it because most people have a motivation for self-preservation or to benefit themselves. So you have to ask yourself, okay, why did they tell me this? Why did they tell me that she just walked up and kissed this man in his mouth and she's smelling like fish? Why she tell me this? I didn't even have to know. There's a reason behind it. So, you know, a lot of times when you hear these rumors, understand that there is a motivation and agenda behind these rumors. Don't talk to those black guys. They got tails.
Exactly. Leonard, what's on your heart, brother? We getting deep into this rumor situation, man. These rumors could be something.
Because everybody know about their rumors. That's why everybody know how rumors work and how they go. That's a communication tool. Rumor. You know, and that's how we communicate with one another. Because we don't know everything. So a lot of stuff has to be verified. You know, and that's why when we started talking about earlier about trust and blah, 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 like, why? I don't have to trust you if I could just go find the truth myself. Now, on the stuff that you talk about, we can talk about and see if I need to trust you with what you talking about. Or that has to do with you, that you can, you know, explain. But all the other stuff you shouldn't, you know, my goodness, I hope y'all not walking around here just bright-eyed and every time somebody tell y'all something, y'all put that inside of you and walk around with it, and, you know, that type of thing. It just leads me to, you know, and I have to bring it back because this is what I do and this is what I'm about democracy. And one thing about the Declaration of Independence is the whole phrase, we hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal. Now, if you don't consider yourself a man, that's your problem. That's your problem.
That's a whole different situation.
Yourself a man.
That's a whole different conversation right there. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
But there's some truths that are self-evident.
Exactly.
If you have a self, they're self-evident. And these are the things that we have to depend on. It's if you believe that your God created you this way.
Come on.
No, that's self-evident. You got self-evident. Now, if you ain't got nothing and you ain't about nothing, you're going to have issues. You're going to have a lot of questions. You're not going to be able to accept certain things. Certain things are going to perplex you. Certain things may make you act a certain way. But what those very racist men said was the truth. All men are created equal.
Whether you're gonna treat them,
even in their own wretchedness.
And that's what I'm about to say. Whether you're gonna treat them equal or not, it doesn't mean that it wasn't created equal. Whether you're gonna treat them equal or not, that's a whole different conversation. So
exactly.
Yeah.
And everybody should strive to be truthful. You know, everybody should or try. You know, some people ain't on that path. You know what I'm saying? But everybody, you know, I'm not giving you a pass. You know what I'm saying? You know, like Raheem will give you a pass. Rico will give you a pass. I won't. I won't, because the minute I do that, I do either disadvantage you or myself, one of the two.
Exactly. Let me say this. The phone lines are open 678-381-1973, 678-381-1973. Love to have your input. Give us a call. And we're talking about rumors today. How do rumors get started? And what are the effects of rumors? How damaging or can they actually be? Can they hurt you? Can they destroy a person just off a rumor? Just they put something out there, has no facts at all, but somebody just don't like this person to the point where they'll put a rumor out on this person. And Bishop, if he was available, I wish he would call in today as well, because there was a lie told about him when he was actually in the political arena. And some people try to run with that lie. It's been, it has been proven to be a lie over time. But during that particular element in his life, it caused some harm.
And they changed the name of it too. Sometimes they call it propaganda.
Yeah.
It's exactly. A different other. That's another thing too. A lot of times when we go through situations, we don't understand all the different words that coincide with that one word, that one action. Propaganda all work hand in hand together. You had the Americans doing it about the Germans doing it about the Americans. You got the Jews doing it about just so many different groups and ethnicities, organizations that put out propaganda about other organizations. Why? Sabotage that organization or that group of people and to benefit themselves. See, that's where the delusion comes in at. Kay was saying that earlier. Most times, I'm gonna say sometimes when a rumor is meant for negativity, the person is either trying to demean others so they can feel better about where they are, or they are putting out rumors to lift themselves up, to make themselves be better than what they are. They don't think anybody realizes, okay, this ain't what you're doing. So you have to make yourself seem bigger. And sometimes what you're doing is good enough.
Yeah.
But it's good enough in the eyes of the public. So you have to put rumors out there and put the delusion out there that it's bigger than what it really is. But when it's negative, it comes from, it has a tint of sabotage and cynicism in it.
Yes.
But it all really comes down to persuasion. Most of the time, whether it's good or bad, a rumor is made to persuade.
Exactly. Tucson, talk to me, bro.
Yeah, you gonna play my song?
Oh, you want me to play this song, man? Lord, my Jesus! Look, he look. He done sent us a little song. Want us to play a song. Let me pull your song up, the Lord. That go ahead. Talk while I pull this song. Go ahead, talk to me, man. Talk to me about the rumors.
Yeah, man. All you got to do is put it out there. It don't make no difference. It don't have to be true. It can be true. All you have to do is tell somebody, and I promise you, it's gonna spread. It's amazing how juicy stories are spread better, quicker than the truth. If you tell the truth and you don't juice it up, I'm just saying. Thank you, man.
That's what Donald wanted me to play for y'all.
That Time at Social Club, who made that?
Club Nouveau. Actually, Time at they had a version of it as well, though. Time at Social Club, both of them made one. There was two different versions of it. Rumors, Club Nouveau and Time at Social Club. So you're absolutely right when you say that. But they were done a DJ moment for today. Kay, what's on your heart, sis?
I'm liking that song. Hey, that's how they get started, though.
Exactly. But
people just gotta be careful what they say, though, because I'm telling you, people can really start a rumor about themselves and don't even realize it. It's real easy and simple. I get phone calls out. People see me out in places at events and ask me questions about people, this certain individual, and I'll be like, I don't know. I'm like, well, did you know? No. How did you know? She told me. I said, well, then if she told you, then it ain't you. It's a rumor because you spreading something that she told you. But I don't know. I got friends that come to me and say right now today, KK, you never told that. I said it wasn't my business. You asked me not to, and I didn't. Now, if you don't ask me to tell something and you tell me something that's juicy, I'm a drip.
Lord Jesus. Toya, what did he talk to me? Coach, Kate gonna act up over here. Toya, what's on your heart, sis? Toya?
Rumors can be detrimental.
Huh?
Now, if we go way back to Weston House and Tesla, one of them put a rumor out about the other one's product just to hurt the credibility of the other one's product. Rumors are detrimental. Johnson & Johnson, all it takes is for a rumor for somebody to say, oh, well, Johnson & Johnson did this, that, and the third. Some rumors might be true, and they try to tell you it's a rumor. Hey, you know, Johnson & Johnson starts cancer. That's a rumor. Don't believe that. But the people in the back house know really, really, really that is the case. Rumors can be something tricky, but you know who the author of rumors? The devil. You a liar and a truth ain't in it. And when it comes to truth, I don't have a problem with it. Whether it's a rumor or not, I'd be wanting to know. And if, that's what I heard. My bad. I apologize. But it needs to be faced head on. The truth shall set you free, man. Like, seriously. We have to, especially as grown adults. We're not kids at 40. As grown adults, we got to start checking people in their spot, man, and handling them, man. Stop lying, yo. Let's call such and such and such. You know, and then the unfortunate part is that when we get together to call this individual, they still gonna lie. They gonna hear the words. The one individual, I'm being my best to still try to be a decent person after what this lady did to me and not call her out. And she's watching right now. And listen, and she's gonna take this to somebody and still talk about like she don't know what I'm talking about. That's why I'm itching to bust her out. But I'm really trying to be. I just don't think that's the right thing to do in my heart. Especially since I'm gonna call you a friend. Just because you ain't did the right thing don't mean that I need to change my friend ways. But it's really unfortunate, man. A rumor can destroy somebody's company, business, livelihood, and you know it. And then people in better positions know they can use that rumor. For example, the government. Get up in the government and know something that they don't want out. They're gonna make it look like you're a liar, and people are not gonna believe you. They're gonna believe the government. And it can be detrimental to you, even if it's true. And it might not come out to 20, 30, 40, 50 years later. So I say check all liars in their spot, man. Straight up for real. Me, I don't know why I'm still trying to do the right thing and not blow this person out under the water. But I know it's because my morals and my heart, if I adopt you as a friend, I'm going to holler at you and I'm going to holler at you. It ain't for me to holler at you with everybody else, man. But it's real. Rumors are detrimental.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Now, this is the Timex Social Club rendition of rumors.
Every day.
So there's two different versions of that particular song, and I'm honestly speaking, I like both versions though. I really do. Both of them was nice, and I think both of them served their purpose. I don't know what the situation is behind there being two versions of the same song. There has to be some kind of history there, some fallout or something.
One is the extended Liars version, Raheem.
That's what it is. Okay, look.
Absolutely.
I'm glad you clarified that, because I certainly did not know. I'm glad you clarified that. Goddess, what's on your heart, sis?
I'm just saying, you see Fauci now. Everybody was behind Fauci. Now they trying to get him fired. Everybody took all them shots. Turn around, still getting COVID again. I don't know. That was a big rumor. he put one of the biggest out here that the whole United States ran with it. Now they're getting COVID. Everything's coming up behind the shot. People getting it's something like with your liver when you drink too much. What is that, Rico? When you drink too much, what's that disease when you drink too much?
Cirrhosis of the liver.
Cirrhosis of the liver. They got something like that out going now with people that don't even drink after they done took the shot. I forgot the name of it. I just read about it. All kind of stuff was coming out, and from taking these shots.
Mm-hmm.
So
Now see,
that was the biggest rumor in America. One of them.
now see, my question is, when you start talking about cirrhosis of the liver, why you ask Rico? Why?
Because we got to be on top of the news. See me on top of the news.
I'm just, I ain't gonna let you just throw no jab at my brother like that. Hold on, now. You just throw a jab at my brother. Why you ask Rico that?
That's what that is. So Rico, no,
you tried to.
that is. So, no.
Tucson, talk to me, brother. Look, don't, we ain't gonna let him just jab at our brother like that, man. Hold on.
So
man.
now, so now, should I expect cirrhosis of the liver? I just went to get me a doctor's check. I just went to get checked out for some things. So I don't know. Let's just talk about this COVID. Vaccine, don't get vaccine, get it. Don't wear your mask, wear your mask. You can now meet up with your family if you take. Let's talk about that, man.
Mm-hmm.
What's truth? What's the truth?
Mm-hmm.
We got so many different stories. We got people. See, I've never had the COVID. I don't get close to people as much as I possibly can. I stay away from people.
Mm-hmm.
I decided as far as whether I got the shot or not, that's my business. But I'm trying to figure out so many different stories out there around this whole thing. You wonder what's true at all.
Mm-hmm.
We get our information off of Facebook and pull it off of people's posts, or some news reporter that don't have no job with nobody, but he reports out of his own house.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think we jacked up because we live in an unstable society. We don't know what's right.
Yeah.
We got our young folks, they don't know what to do. They're looking at us, they say, well, it's for the elderly and the ones with pre-existing illnesses, or whatever you want to say it. And then some say, I ain't going to take it. And some say, well, you should take it.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, hey, you kind of wonder, what's the rumor?
Mm-hmm. Rico, I got a couple of things here for you, brother.
I ain't dead yet.
Exactly. This is Public Citizen. He had 2 comments here. Want to read that first one?
Great minds discuss ideas. Average minds discuss events. Small minds discuss people. By Eleanor Roosevelt.
And here's the second one here.
All these COVID rumors just confuse people. I mean, sure, there is a small number of people who get side effects, but that is rare. If you notice, it is almost always pro-Trump Republican media promoting this stuff. That's true. They're still talking about hydrochloroquine or whatever that medicine was that Trump was talking about when it first came out.
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad y'all went there with the COVID, because if you remember the rumors when it first came out, Black people didn't have nothing to worry about.
Yep.
Then adults didn't have nothing to worry about. Oh, just keep on doing what you're doing. And we took it from trusted, reputable sources. Once again, people in position with power. See, we don't understand. Sometimes people manipulate their ways to a position. They screw themselves, or they backstab their way to a position. Now they're the top dog. They don't sabotage everybody. Now they're the top doctor. Dr. Fauci. I deal with China, United States, all around the world. I'm the man. You trust me. I've studied and earned my way. I'm certified. And so we look at these positions of power, we trust them. And then we go back and say, like, when Trump got in office, well, what was wrong with Trump? Y'all trusted Trump?
Mm-hmm.
Some of them did. But see, I look at that, how that worked with the COVID thing. When they said that about Black people couldn't get it at first. We didn't have nothing to worry about. We were the least susceptible to get it. And I was like, man, you know what? I ain't trusting this, man. Something ain't right. Then come back around, you know what I'm saying? Most of us are dying over. Whoa, wow, look at here. Somebody with the authority to put this information out here in the media lied. Okay. This is a common practice that has been going on. I go back to the Tuskegee experiment or the Tuskegee syphilis study. The doctors and the government and all these organizations knew what they were doing, but there was one black nurse that trusted these doctors that worked in the government above her. She trusted them in their word, and they utilized her because they knew the people in the public would trust this educated black woman that looked like them. And she went out and she told everything that those doctors told her to tell. That were part of the study. With the bad side effects that were going on, they still trusted this nurse because she looked like us. And she thought she was telling them the truth. So when everything comes out, she's looking like one of the bad people too. She's stuck in the middle. She was a pawn. The dominant society that understands how rumor and propaganda work and that had an agenda, a motivation. So they said, what we're going to do, we're going to get somebody to look just like them that they can relate to because they don't trust us. We have a history. We might call them savages and this and that, but really, truly, we have a history, so they're not going to trust us. But if we get this black woman, think about with COVID. A black woman came up with the vaccine.
Yeah.
Think about how that looked. A black woman came up with the vaccine. Y'all trusted. Y'all lottery money to take it now. Trusted. You know, they want to bait you up to make you think you could trust what they're bringing to the table. Not understanding we realize these practices, but I take that back. Everybody doesn't realize that practice. You know, I saw it at one time, class action lawsuit, and it was one judge that I wanted to get. Well, the company that I worked for knew that if I got this judge, they probably were going to be in trouble. So what they did, they had the law firm that represented them to go hire this judge's daughter. So now that took it out of his courtroom. He was going to have to recuse himself if it came before him because his daughter was one of the attorneys that was going to be representing the company that I was suing. But then I hit this company with a class action lawsuit. They bought this same little pretty thick black girl in there and had them people to sign over, settle for $500 because it was close to Christmas time and time had been short. We had been getting laid off. And she told them it was a good idea. And those guys, because we worked in a place where wasn't nothing but men working there. Brothers like me saw that sister and trusted she was looking out for their best interest. But have you ever been in a situation where you run across a cop or somebody and then you like, brother, and they look at you funny because they want to let you know, I don't play that brother stuff.
Yeah.
And that, you know, she went there, she knew that's what it was. I knew from the very beginning when I walked in, I was like, man, so what's your name? I said, so they bought you in here by eye candy to get us to sign this paper. Because she had to get us to try to sign it. So, you know, that goes to show you how we can be manipulated. We can look at people.
You talking about that police officer on Boys in the Hood, like that police officer on Boys in the Hood, prime example right there. Everybody like to look at movies and stuff like that. So that's basically talking about. This thing going. Everybody mute your line. We got some background noise going on. Everybody mute your line for me. Mute your line, everybody. Toya with a T, what's on your heart, sis? Toya?
No, I'm here. Very valid point. You know, that's a part of what the strategy, the marketing strategy, right? We got to get the black people and put them up there. Like, we watch this every day with commercials. The only way you're going to get black people to use Viagra is to put black people in commercials. That's no marketing strategy. That's what we do to gain customers, reclaim clientele. We have to be able to identify with the people that we're targeting. That's the target market. And that's what they do all the time. But we can't get it twisted because we still know that we're dealing with the government. You know what I mean? And that comment from Public Citizen, you said, what was the last part? Some people talk about small-minded people. Is that what it said? Or some do something about just people?
No, he was saying, let me pull it back up here. Great mind. Here you go. Here it is. It says, great minds discuss ideas, Average minds discuss events. Small minds discuss people. And that's something that Eleanor Roosevelt said. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so again, people run the event. People run everything. You got to discuss people. That's another diversion to keep us off of you. People start the event. How the event happen? Out the blue? From birds?
Mm-hmm.
Like this is the thing. We always humans. This is why God made us laugh. Because we can never get beside ourselves. We always got to be in the mix. We always got to have the glory. We always got to put something in there, and we don't want to face truth. That's not truth. We discussed Donald Trump for years. We discussed these people in positions that run and rule. We discussed the Pharaoh. So what do you mean? I'm in bondage. I'm in slavery. You know, oh, yeah, well, you guys, you're going to discuss the slavery. No, you don't need to discuss the person.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's not the Pharaoh's fault. The Pharaoh was just doing it because he could. Don't get mad at him. Get mad at the event. Foolishness. Human beings need to be held accountable for their mismanagement of their power, period. And if you are a human being and you have any kind of control or influence in any kind of way, and you use it for the harm or hurt against someone, I don't care how many thousands of dollars you have, I don't care anything. This is where these generational curses come from. So what happened to the Pharaoh's kid? Oh, okay. What happened to David's son? Oh, okay. We don't want to face that part.
Mm-hmm.
Then we want to get mad with the Lord when he comes to seek vengeance on something that he told you not to do, whether you believe him or not. So at the end of the day, when I start to see the wages of sin, which is when I start to see all these little different things happening, I don't get weary. Only thing I do is try to make sure I'm doing what I'm supposed to do because I don't want no problems with the Lord.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's good. That's good. Leonard, talk to me, brother.
Man, I think, the people are hitting on all the necessary points and issues as it relates to our relationships with one another.
Mm-hmm.
And one, you can do better. You can treat people better. The more that the more you treat people better, the more a lot of people will start to notice that.
Mm-hmm.
And then guess what? A lot of nasty folks will start staying away from you when they know you're trying to do the right thing and you're trying not to be divisive and you're trying to get people to actually come up with solutions to problems as opposed to just talking about issues and things.
Mm-hmm.
All them other foolish people seem to disappear.
Mm-hmm.
And then you can surround yourself with people going in the same direction as you. Trust me, I love my culture.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't let my culture pass. You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I know where I'm from. I know the hood. I'm from blah, 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 blah. But I'm going somewhere. You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And I ain't going backwards.
Yeah.
And so, my thing is that people have to, the old folks used to say birds of a feather flock together.
Mm-hmm.
You can't tell me you with me and I see you over here doing this, that, and the other to hurt my people.
Exactly.
I can't get down with that.
Mm-hmm.
There's no way you can explain to me why I should hurt Toya.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Don't make sense.
That conversation ain't for me.
Mm-hmm.
And those people ain't even coming to me with that.
Mm-hmm.
Because I set a standard for myself. And I make sure that people around me understand that standard to certain things you ain't going to ask me about. Because you know how I'm going to come at you.
Mm-hmm.
Some you never know. That's why people are always trying you.
Mm.
Because they still think they got to win there. They still think they can get over on you. And that's why they keep always in your face trying to get you to do A, B, C, or D. Once you put your foot down, all that stuff goes away.
Mm-hmm.
Once you trust me, once you are about something and getting something accomplished, you're going to have so much peace and quiet.
Yes.
You're going to realize that one ain't about everybody else.
It's a new day.
It's about you. It's about you doing what you set out to do. What objectives do you have to do? What are you trying to accomplish?
Mm-hmm. That's good. That's good.
I use Toya as an example because Toya walks what she talks. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And now she's at a point where she's doing this and she's doing that. And, you know, that's how we started off, me and Toya.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. They say walk it like you
So
talk.
look at all this. But she said her mind is doing what she wanted to do, and before you know it, it's done.
Mm-hmm.
She don't need nobody's opinion.
Yep.
Another. Sometimes you got to do that. And that's what I admire about people who can focus on those things.
Mm-hmm.
Because our people, we just out here like we just waiting around for white folks to tell us what to do. Some of y'all.
Yeah.
I don't need you to tell me I need to wear no. I don't need me sitting around you tell me I need to wear no. Well, black people can't get it and blah 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 blah. Come on, man.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Guys, like y'all ain't seen people dying before. Y'all know how you get sick.
Mm-hmm.
So keep acting like you can just now. Oh, now the white man say it's okay. COVID gone.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh,
And I gotta
take care of yourself.
Mm-hmm. And I have to take a moment right now. And Leonard, you reminded me, man. There was a gentleman that actually taught me so much, man. That taught me so much, and he passed. And the funeral is today. I found out last night. Somebody texted me last night about 11 o'clock and told me the funeral was today. And Mr. Frank Monday, rest in heaven, brother. That's the young man. When I did my first stage play, he was over the university there in South Carolina, South Carolina State. He was over the South Carolina State theater department. And this brother, I took my play to him. And I said, look here, you know, I don't know how to direct no play. I don't know none of this stuff. And we sat there in his office and we read a couple of scenes of the play. And he said, I like the play. The play is real good. He said, I can't do anything with it right now. I got to finish the school year. He said, but after that, he said, come back to me and we'll put everything together and we'll make sure we get this play done. That's, as a matter of fact, that's the same play that I met Curtis. So Curtis was actually one of the lead. He was the lead in this particular play. And he said when the time came, we sat beside each other, man, at least twice a week, for a whole year doing this play. He was directing this play, teach me different things about, you know, do it this way. No, Raheem, do it this way. Raheem, why did they do it like that? Why do you think they did it like that? And I sat right beside this man, and he taught me everything I needed to know, almost like I was in school. And he taught me all that stuff, man. He said, no, Raheem, this is how you do it. When they do this right here, say this right here to him. And then and I was like, wow. But he taught me, so I just wanted to take an opportunity to take a minute, man, and I say rest in heaven, man. I really appreciate everything, the impact that he had on my life, man. And my wife was there as well, and he passed, and his funeral is today. And I better stop talking before I go, man. Rico, what's on your heart, brother?
Yeah, I guess, you know, going back to the rumor thing, man. Like, I guess, you know, really when we start hearing this news, like Donald Trump called it fake news. Sometimes when people report news back to you, you have to ask yourself, how does it pertain to you? How does this affect me?
Mm-hmm.
At times, people will come to you with news that they know you have a passion for, things that you are interested in, and you know, receive it differently. But sometimes people may just come out the blue with something sideways that you ain't got nothing to do with. You have to ask yourself, okay, wait a minute, why did they tell me this? But you know, I think as you become adults, you should already know ahead of time when somebody approaches you with something like that, that you know they have an agenda.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, at the same time, you know, we say, well, you know, you want to verify it. But I'm gonna be honest with you, man. It would be hard for you to verify somebody saying that another person smell like fish. Can you imagine?
Yeah.
Can you imagine, man? I mean, how can you? I'm not gonna try to find out, you know what I'm saying, through experience. I can't come and ask them. I mean, so many years like sometimes, you know, when we hear these rumors, man, they are so detrimental and terrible that they're sensational that you can't go back and ask nobody. Touching your daughter. I heard that baby your daughter had is your baby. Man, you can't ask nobody that. So there's some nasty people in this world that will put out rumors about you that they will be too embarrassed or afraid to come back and ask you. You know, that's where the gift of discernment comes in. You know, you just can't turn your head and walk away from it, because sometimes it may be true. It may be, most of the time, if it comes out of the blue, you know, like some of the rumors that I heard, you just have to dismiss it and go on, because we really can't afford to give energy to that type of behavior.
Exactly. Exactly. Rico, read this right here, man. This is powerful. What our public citizen wrote.
The way I understand that Roosevelt quote is that people who obsess on rumors about people do not focus on the real issue. They focus on creating drama and gossip. Of course, we could talk about people, but for example, spending all day talking about Trump does not fight the real issue of systemic racism and so forth. The enemy is not a man. The enemy is a system. I definitely agree. And it's a distraction too. Most people put it out there to distract you from what needs to be addressed.
That's good. Leonard, what's on your heart, brother?
Shout out to public citizen. I'm not on the feed today, so I can't see his comments. You know, when he posts them, but I know he's always commenting. You know, I just want to tell him good morning.
Absolutely. And public citizen, he called in once or twice. I'm trying to get him to call back in again. I know I know he's an educator, so public citizen, when you get an opportunity, we definitely want you to call in. As a matter of fact, we got 3 minutes. You can call in this morning, 678-381-1973. I'd love for you to elaborate a little bit on that last comment that you just put out there. I would love to have your input, and I can read your words, but I would like to hear you say what's on your heart. 678-381-1973. Goddess, what's on your heart?
Yeah. I think what I'm feeling is, I love what Leonard said. I really do love what Leonard said on some things, and I think everybody hit on some good points. Toya hit on some good points. Everybody hit on some good points. So with that being said, I think we had a wonderful show on rumors, and I think we all can learn from each and everybody's point.
Absolutely. K with an E. K with an E. What's hey, somebody got it on speaker. Somebody got it on speaker. You gotta take it off speaker. Take it off speaker. There you go. Oh, all right, there you go. K, what's on your heart?
I was sitting here with my son, and somebody, I think it was Toya, said, how do they gonna get the black men to take Viagra? Tell her it's different strokes for different folks, because up here, I have a friend, and I was like, what are you doing with all those Viagras? When I went over there, just sitting on the table, and I didn't know what they were. And he was like, oh, they gonna come and get them. I said, who? The people he named out to me is people I grew up with. And I'm like, they younger than me. They younger than me. Like, what they need that for? Well, the system, these our young generation has ruined their little bodies. That's all I got out of it. Because they're too young to need Viagra. That's because they do so many off-brand drugs. It's taking their manhood from them. And I couldn't believe he said it. He had all those Viagras on his table. And the people he told me was coming to get them is my son's age. My son said, Mama, you didn't know that? I said, no. When Toya said that, he almost fell out the chair. I was like, what's wrong with you? He said, they must know where she lives at. I said, I think she lives in Georgia somewhere. He said, they must know. I said, they probably don't. Well, you know, they got a lot of gay people down there, so they might not need Viagra. I don't know.
Good Lord.
Oh, my God.
I was sitting here cracking up.
Good Lord. So they got a lot of gay people.
Funny to me.
Exactly. Go ahead, Leonard.
Man. That is so funny to me when she says Viagra. And they just piled up.
A whole collect, got a whole pharmacy.
And they coming to get them. Everybody out here trying to have a good time, and you know we have to be understanding a lot of the things that we are putting into our bodies and things of that nature. Like she said, these young men are really experiencing impotence at a much earlier age, because it's not their bodies getting old. It's the fact that they're abusing all these drugs that cause impotence.
Yeah.
All these drugs.
Then y'all know what else? That's why we gay women.
Things, alcohol and all these other types of things, they all contribute to male impotence. So then You got them also wanting to be superstars. So now they participate in activities that last all night. And so they got to take Viagra at 20 something years old.
That's a shame.
Just to perform.
That's a shame.
Because this is how their lives are. This is what they do. And so many people are on drugs now for one thing or another. This is what is happening to your body. Because of the drugs and the abuse. You don't need a shot. Like that was some people's perception of to get the shot or not. Well, why not? I'm putting everything else in my body. Why not the shot? Wow. You know, I'm doing a lot worse things than taking the shot of vaccination. So it didn't mean nothing to them to go ahead and just jump in there and get the vaccine for the very simple fact they're already abusing their bodies with drugs and things of that nature. So you even have to teach them how to love their own and take care of their own bodies. There are too many young men right now, especially where I'm from, that are much younger than me. We talk about guys that are alcoholics, 30 years old.
Yeah. Wow. That's crazy. And we spoke about the cirrhosis of the liver. That's real. I've seen it take some people out, man.
Yeah.
I've seen that take people out.
If your day consists of waking up and drinking alcohol, you know, when I was young, I used to think that was boy. Boy, you talk about somebody with Jack Daniels on the nightstand.
Not Jack Black number 7, was it?
Man, these things, if you I have friends that never stop partying and they're suffering right now.
Yeah.
Simply.
Exactly.
Because they never stop partying.
Toya, what's on your heart, sis?
Oh man, listen. When I tell you, I know people of all shapes and sizes, and I'm a free talker. I talk to all kind of people, and all them folks not on drugs. All of them not on drugs. I believe it's a deeper. I don't know, it's something deeper. I know a couple of people who take very good care of their bodies, all natural, and are having erectile dysfunction issues. And if we think back to when Viagra first came out, the point I was trying to say is, when Viagra first came out, we wasn't taking it like that. It took a minute. It was giving people hard-ons and heart attacks if we go way back. But then once we got secure with it, then we started using it. You know, so I was saying that because anytime something new come out, like Rico said, they gotta get the person to bait us in. So they go get LeBron. Oh, we want you to go get a colon cancer check. We go get Jamie Foxx. Because they need us to identify. So now, see, Viagra is grown. So now it's easy for black people. But the campaign was to get a black person. The campaign with COVID was to get a black doctor, black female doctor. The campaign is always going to be using someone that you can identify with to get you to do it. You know what I mean? But I feel like everything is spiritual. Forget all this who did and the CDC. God told us where disease comes from, and I'm going to leave it at that.
Good deal. Good deal. Listen, we got to get out of here, man. We got anything on your heart before we get out of here? Quick break. Okay. Anybody else? Anybody got anything before we get out of here?
If you did not get a chance to hear the show in its entirety, you can log on to www.dknmediagroup.com at 3 o'clock Eastern today.
Good deal. Good deal. Hey, with the E, you still with us?
I'm here.
I'll pray us out, sis.
Father God, we come to you with our heads and humble hearts, Father God. We come to you with thanks, Father God. We thank you for another day of broadcast, Father God. We thank you for the host. We thank you for the participants, and we thank you for the listeners. Father God, we ask you to stay with each and every last one of us and our families as we go off this radio show, that we can represent you and how you would want us to represent you, and only you. In your sweet son, Jesus' name, amen, amen, and amen.
Amen. Amen. It's been a great broadcast. I want to thank everybody for joining us. And more than that, I want to thank you for allowing DKMU Group and Associates and the Morning Glow for being a part. Bless you for being a part of your morning. It is now 10:05. You're about to exit the Morning Glow. But before you go, I want you to do me 2 favors, if you will. 1, I want you to continue to pray for us, because we're certainly praying for each and every one of you. Number 2, why this is real simple. I want you to go out there, find somebody and give them a hug, because you never know. It could be the only hug that they get, or it could very well be their last. Love you, and ain't nothing you can do about it. Have a great day and a better tomorrow. That we shine some of this light in you from the Morning Glow. Take it out there into this wicked and cruel world that we live in, and let your light so shine. And if you get an opportunity, give somebody some love. You just might find some love in return. Won't that be a beautiful thing? Love you. Take care of each other and be blessed.